Good evening, everybody, and welcome here to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. We're sorry we're a little bit late getting on to you here tonight. We're battling the internet as well as setup issues, but we are here now, and hopefully everything on the stream is working. We're streaming off my phone's hotspot. We're about 2 minutes in here to the first quarter. Nothing really has happened so far. Macomb kicked off the Elmwood. We got a ball on the ground right here. John Burton alongside me, Coach Weston. Your usual Macomb voices here in Elmwood tonight. Tony, this is a big matchup here. Macomb dropped one last week against a tough Farmington squad. Both these teams coming to the game 5-1, both with losses to that same Farmington squad. What do you expect to see here tonight in Elmwood?
I expect to see a power puncher versus a finesse boxer. So Elmwood is straight downhill, and they'll run off the edges occasionally, but it's a running attack, big linemen. And Macomb, as we know, is more of a finesse team, a lot of skill positions. The line has to step up. They have to hold their gaps. Can't try and do too much, just create those stalemates. It's a fourth down. He reaches forward. He was stopped 2 yards back and lunged forward and is really close to the marker. So the first play, the kickoff went out of bounds. First play from scrimmage was a little bit of a chunk play, a run outside. Elmwood picked up about 12. And Macomb had a stop at the line of scrimmage, and then about a 3-yard gain, about another 4-yard gain, and then they just gave the mark on the fourth down play there. And as you can tell, the Macomb faithful were not too pleased with the spot here as Lane Johnson goes ahead and picks up about 12.
Gain and another Trojans first down.
Yeah, a little bit of a different setup than we were last week. Last week we were kind of set up in the enemy territory bleachers in Farmington. This week surrounded by our home fans here in the bleachers.
Yeah, a little more friendly territory. There was we were you know what, the Farmington people were great though.
No, they were awesome. Love that. This is going to be another run up the middle. This is Landon Klein on the carry for Elmwood. If you're on listening to us, let us know how the stream looks. Again, we were battling some setup issues here. It looks like it's going decent on my end in terms of the internet, but just let us know if there's any hiccups there. We'll try to get those resolved as we go along here. So Elmwood has this thing pushed up all the way to the Macomb 27. And again, it's been a heavy running attack here to open up the first quarter. That's what you would expect out of this Elmwood-Brimfield squad. This would be a direct handoff up the middle. This is Klein once again on the carry.
Klein again.
He's going to be just short, maybe about a yard or two.
So that time, so they're running this 32 personnel. They got three backs in the backfield, 2 tight ends, and they're crowding it tight. The lineman splits are foot to foot. Everything's just in a tight bubble. It was a little more spread on the first form, but after that, it's been this tight formation. But that time, and what Elmwood wants to do is they want to bring 3, 4, 5 blockers to the point of attack and overwhelm you with blockers, win the numbers battle.
This is going to be Bo Windish on the carry.
Looks like he got across the line to gain. On that last run, Macomb did a great job of holding their ground, of blowing out the poles, but the running back just ran through, just kept his knees going. It was just a good, tough run.
That's exactly what you would expect out of these Trojans, man. They've ran the same offense for years and years and years, and when you get running backs like they have this year, it becomes very, very potent.
Yeah, very problematic. And then there's a lot of people that have a lot to say about that. Oh, he doesn't change anything. Well, you know, I remember a guy in Carthage named Coach Unruh that didn't change anything, and he seemed to have some pretty good success.
There's
going to be another Trojans first down. That was Johnson on the carry once again. Number 5 for the Trojans.
Just inside the 5, or it'll be first and goal for the Trojans.
First and goal for the Trojans, 7 minutes and 35 seconds. We'll try to get the clock flipped on here since I don't have a table to keep stats. We'll do the clock this week. That'll come here shortly. This is going to be another handoff up the middle. Bombers line holds tough there. Able to keep him out of the end zone. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage there.
So what the line did right there is they held the ground so that the blockers couldn't climb to the second level, and then the linebackers were able to come in and stonewall the run. Still about 2.5 yards out.
Be another run up the middle, and that one's going to go
into
the end zone. That's Windish on the carry. Trojans touchdown to get us kicked off here in Elmwood.
3-yard touchdown run for number 7, Bo Windish. And for that touchdown, Farmer State Bank will donate $25.
So Windish touchdown to get our scoring kicked off. Looks like Elmwood will get set to kick the extra point here. It'll be Windish on the hold. Trying to catch a number on the kicker here. He's got a side turn to us. It's hard to see. We'll get that in just one moment. Hold us down. Kick is up, and that was a nice looking kick there.
Bruno is good.
That was Bo Bruno.
7 minutes remaining
on
in the first
kick.
quarter. Elmwood-Brimfield
Just hear the PA guys say. So it's
Macomb
7-0 in favor of the Elmwood Trojans. We'll take a quick break here and be right back with you right after this.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Well, I've always had an interest in the medical field, and then growing up, I actually went through physical therapy myself for an injury, and that got me back to playing my sports and the activities that I loved. So seeing that firsthand, I got to see how much physical therapy could really benefit others.
Back here at Elmwood High School as the Trojans lead 7-0. Again, that touchdown came at exactly 7 minutes to play in quarter number one here. Bombers will get set for their first offensive possession of the game.
Number 35, Bo Bruno.
Again, the Bombers are coming off a tough loss last week against Farmington. That one came in overtime. That was a heck of a game. If you missed that one, make sure you go back and check that one out.
That was a great football game. So one thing to keep in mind, and this is the same thing we talked about when I was coaching, is when you're playing an Elmwood football team, so far what we've seen is just straight downhill. But throughout the game, you're going to see counters, you're going to see fakes, you're going to see orbit motion, all sorts of different looks out of the backfield, and it can cause problematic exchanges. And Elmwood has had an issue with putting the ball on the ground, and we saw that early on. They got very lucky that the ball fell out of the running back's hands and literally bounced right back up into his hands in stride. But that's something to keep an eye on as the game looks forward. The Bombers are going to want to win the takeaway battle.
A little bit of issues there on the Macomb's hand side. Kind of bounced up off a player ball, will roll out of bounds. So they'll start their first drive on their own 20. Again, if you are on watching us, make sure to get into that live chat. Love to see who's all tuning us in this week here in Elmwood. Coach's going to start with the handoff, and that is swallowed up quickly in the backfield.
Yeah, Macomb went with an empty look right there and ran the jet motion, ran the jet to Drew Watson, and that was swallowed up 5 yards in the backfield. So
that was Landon Klein back there, able to take Watson down. It'll be a loss of 4 on the play. Bombers working behind the chains here on second down. And they'll go ahead and get those yards back.
Tanner Horrell special right there. The freeze play gets the 5 yards back. And it'll be 2nd and 10, 2nd and 9.
Against the Trojans. Move the ball
2nd and 9.
5 yards up to the 21, where it'll be 2nd and 9.
So all the yards that were lost on the previous play are made up there on the penalty. Plus one or so. This will be a Holt House on the pass. He has his target, and Watson there out
Pass complete to number
side.
1.
That's going to go
Watson.
for about 4 yards out there for Watson. It's going to set up 3rd and about 5 to go.
So now he's the slot. He's not the X receiver. He's the slot. So he has an outside linebacker on him, not a cornerback. He catches the pass. It's a quick game. It's a quick little hitch. Catches the football, and the outside linebacker does a wonderful job breaking down, making the tackle. But you know what? That's a successful run. That's a 3-yard run play is what basically that amounts to.
3rd and 5 now for Macomb on their first drive of the game. Looking to convert on 3rd down here. They can put it in the arm of Holt House, and
pass intended for number 2, Kylan McMillan.
Maybe a little bit of miscommunication there.
Holt
House was trying to get it away to McMillan. Kind of just ran that stick route. Stopped right at the sticks there, but okay, maybe a little bit of miscommunication.
It looked like the ball was just delivered a little early. Either that or he felt that Kylan would be at the mark sooner than he was, but the timing wasn't there.
So Macomb looks like they'll get set to punt this one away back on their own 25 on 4th down. And they will. Nice looking punt there, end over end. We'll take a bounce right about the 50. And roll about 2 yards forward. That'll be fielded down there
line of the Trojans.
at the 48, and that's where Elmwood will take over. 5 minutes and 25 seconds to play here in the first quarter.
One thing to notice is on that drive, Elmwood's cornerbacks were up press and bailing out. So I think that short game, that quick game, is going to be big until they start staying up or coming up even quicker. And now Macomb gets a big play of their own. That was needed. So we back off of midfield. That's about an 8-yard loss, bringing it up. They give forward progress. So it's going to be about a 5-yard loss back to about the 43-yard line. But at any rate, once they can get those cornerbacks to commit and stay up, then you go over the top.
That was Noah Applogan there making the tackle in the backfield. It'll go for about a 5-yard loss on the play. It's going to be up 2nd and 15. Clock continues to roll now here in the first. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, trying to push the pile forward. They're going to get back a couple.
45 to about the 46.
That's number 28 on the carry, Matthew Glenn.
That play right there was Todd Hollis doing a fact-finding mission. They ran shift. That's something we've seen Western Illinois do. They took their tight end and their wing from the far side and shifted them over to the near side pre-snap. Macomb adjusted, and they all slid over into the overload. That's called an overload. They had more blockers on one side of the center than the other. Macomb shifted to the overload. Ball's on the ground.
Ball on the ground once again, and it'll take an Elmwood bounce. Just bounce right back up in his arms. It'll be another loss on the play there, and that's going to set up 4th downs behind the sticks for Elmwood.
4th and 15 for the Trojans.
Now this is decision time. It looks like they are bringing a punt team out, and the punter has dropped back, but you're pretty close. I understand it's 4th and 15, but you're pretty close to midfield. If they have a good punter, then obviously this is the right decision, but with a lot of high school teams, might be advantageous to give it a shot, but there's also not a lot of 4th and 15 plays in the playbook. So
looks like Elmwood will punt this one away. Pretty decent punt there. We'll take a bounce right
and
around.
checks up.
Yeah, take a bounce right around the 22-yard line.
Inside the 25.
That's where Macomb will get set to take over. Again, 7-0. Trojans open are scoring pretty quickly. Macomb turned it over on downs, and Elmwood punts that one away. Ball checked up a little bit, so yeah, it'll start about the 24 for the Bombers.
Now, one thing we can notice, each team, Elmwood's now had 2 drives, Macomb's had 1. There's been no flags on the field. And on that punt, I don't know if you saw it, John, I saw a lot of movement on both sides of the line before that ball was snapped. I don't know that I would say it was Elmwood that had jumped or Macomb, but there was a lot of pre-snap movement, and there were no flags. That's a nice run up the middle there by Malachi Conley.
Macomb getting it going on the ground here now.
Number 10, Kyler Norton.
That was just straight downhill, blocked the guy in front of you, got about 6-7 yards.
Set up 2nd and about 3 to go now for Macomb. House will jump back, looking to throw. Might have Watson in the middle. He goes deep down the sideline. He's got a man downfield. What a catch by Kyler Norton. Pushes the Bombers up to the Elmwood-Brimfield about 35. What a grab there by Norton.
That was a great catch by Norton. Cornerback was on him, actually had him wrapped up before the ball arrived. And again, no flags, which this is not a critique. It's just noticing. It's just taking in information, how the game's going to unfold. But kept his concentration on the football and brings down the catch.
Macomb gets it going on a deep shot there. They're going to go out to Watson on the screen, but that's going to be swallowed up quickly.
Watson met quickly in the backfield by
Not much
number
going
89,
there
Daniel
for
Yeagle.
Watson on the quick hitter. They're actually going to lose a nice
4
chunk of
yards on the play.
yards
Back
there.
to the 38-yard line, 2nd and 14.
Also about 4, it looks like.
There's a guy making a football play on the defensive side. He saw the crackball coming. He fought it to the inside, kept his arm free, and just came down. He read the play immediately and crashed down on it and made a football play.
Clock rolls under 2 minutes here in the first quarter. Empty backfield set here for Macomb. They'll put Norton in motion. And looks like we're going to have a timeout called here by Macomb. We will take a quick break as well. You're listening to TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH for Honor Brothers Heating and Cooling's presentation of Bomber Sports.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today. Your voice heard.
Back here in Elmwood, just over a minute 30 to play in the first quarter. Macomb working now with a 2nd and 14. After the long pass for Norton. This time will be Holthouse and Conley in the backfield. Holthouse scrambles to the far sideline, looking to throw. He's got a man on the deep sideline. And McMillan's able to make a move on the inside. He's got one man to beat. He's taken down just before the goal line. Another big gain there for the Bombers and Kylan McMillan.
That's another one of those situations where you put the ball into the hands of a playmaker. That was a quick route. That wasn't downfield, even though it ends up a chunk play. You put the ball into the hands of one of your playmakers. He made the first guy miss, and then he weaves through traffic. He uses that elite speed, those quick start times, that 0 to 60. He's able to just about get into the end zone.
There'll be a run up the middle for Macomb.
Maybe gains a yard on the play. It'll make it 2nd and goal.
Our computer just restarted or something right there. I believe we're still on, though. Not sure what just happened there. Looks like we're good. Clock still rolls here. Just under a minute to go. Holthouse, give it off to, no, he's going to keep it this time. Holthouse will tiptoe into the end zone. Touchdown, Macomb Bombers. Holthouse on the keeper, able to get it done with the legs.
So they used that jet motion early on out of empty backfield, and Elmwood bottled it up. They used the same motion. This wasn't empty, though. You have a running back back there, so you're thinking counter. You're thinking, so all this math is going through a linebacker's head, but it happens so quick. The hole opens up. Braden Holthouse straight downhill, makes one guy miss, and he's into the end zone.
Bombers now a Hayden Katz extra point away from tying things up here with just 47 seconds to play in the first quarter. Katz will get the hold, and he will put it through the uprights. We are tied at 7, folks. Trojans, Bombers, 7-7 here in the first quarter. You're listening to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
When my parents told me they'd be using Adam's Experts, I felt a bit replaced. I mean, they always called me to remove their viruses or get their printer connected to Wi-Fi. He even set up their new Roku.
How do I adopt a new son?
But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adam's Experts. Repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home technology needs.
I would have to say that is the most rewarding part of what I do, making a difference in people's lives. Taking care of the women from puberty on through postmenopausal stages and seeing them go through the phases and stages of life.
Back here for Bombers football. Once again, Auto Brothers Heating and Cooling, our
34, Logan Estes
year-long
back deep
sponsor
to
for all
receive
Bombers
for the
sports.
Trojans.
7-7 is our
First
score
kickoff
after
for
the
Bombers.
touchdown run by Holthouse. That touchdown and extra point came with 47 seconds to play in the first quarter. As Macomb will get set to kick this one away. Six number 34 back deep for the Trojans, Logan S. As this kick will check up just inside the out of bounds. Bombers are swarming on it. I believe it's going to roll out of bounds, however. Great kick there from Katz, just checked up right along that sideline.
Yeah, that's phenomenal kick. A great roll for the Bombers. Had that speed team trying so hard to get down there. Nolan Hogue just about gets to the football before it gets out of bounds, but regardless of that, they end up with starting position at the 21-yard line rather than the 40, which is really good for the Bombers. Now the Bombers, much better job last time. They blocked the lanes, they filled the gaps, they didn't allow pulling blockers to come through. They didn't allow the point of attack to get overwhelmed. They were able to match the numbers of Elmwood-Brimfield, and they got off the field with a punt. Need another stop right here after they scored.
We'll start with the run. This one pushing to the outside, trying to pick up some blocks downfield. Bombers in hot pursuit. This is going to be a first down and much more.
On the left side, across the 45.
I believe he's going to be pushed out of bounds there across the 45. Logan's able to bring him down. Windish on the carry.
Now that wasn't a read. That was good timing. The Bombers had the middle of the field completely locked up. Elmwood runs outside, is able to get the edge, and picks up a huge chunk play out near midfield and completely negates that field position.
So clock will run after the first down. Looks like Elmwood will get set for another play here. It's going to be another handoff, this time to the inside sideline. This is number 28 on the carry. Almost brought down there, still on his feet somehow. Swarmer Bomber is able to bring him down. Now that's Matthew Glenn, the ball carrier.
Still on his feet, but lost about 3 yards, maybe 4. What happens there is Drew Watson is trying to weave through traffic. He reaches out, isn't quite able to get to the running back, but slows his feet enough as the running back. And now we've spilled it out to the sideline. So you're using the sideline as an extra defender as he tries to work his way back in. He probably had about a 5-yard gain. But he gets away from a defender and tries to reverse course. He ends up dropping about 3-4 yards. So what could have been a gain ends up, I guess it ends up, what do they got going on here?
I'm not sure what they're doing with the change on the far sideline.
Well, they're flipping it for the quarter, but there we go.
It's about a...
There we go. It ended up being about a 1-yard gain.
So that's where Elmwood will start. Again, 7-7 is our score. Appreciate everybody taking the time out of their night to tune in to us and watch us here. I know my mom is on here listening to us, but she's watching the West Prairie game. I'm not quite sure how that works, but appreciate everybody nonetheless. With locations in Macomb and Augusta, with 80 years of car sales experience, Ron Elby Auto Sales is your hometown go-to for your next car in Macomb on East Jackson Street. Stop in, talk to Justin, Jared, or Chris, or visit www.lbsalescars.com to check out their inventory.
In the second quarter from their own 49-yard line. Landon Klein up the middle over the 45 down to about the 44.
That's a very patient run right there by Landon Klein. The front line is bottled up. There's a stalemate, and he just sort of hovers right behind his guard, waits for an opening. Once a kick-out block happens, he shot through, ends up picking up about 7 yards. We got 3rd and 2.
This will be another handoff up the middle. I believe this is number 7, Windish on the carry once again. He's able to break free to the far sideline. Still got a little room to run there. Another nice run there by Windish up to around the 25 of the Bombers.
Bombers defense has to remember that this offense is predicated upon somebody not doing their job. So you've got 3, sometimes 4 options on any given run play. And what they're banking on is somebody's going to crash down on option 1 when option 3 gets the ball. And you've got to make sure that you're able to just do your job, concentrate on your job.
Matthew Glenn across the 25.
Matthew Glenn on the carry once again
line.
for Elmwood.
7-yard gain.
It's going to be about a 7-yard pickup there for Glenn. And again, this is something that we've talked about with Macomb for a while now. When you get matched up with real hard runners, Macomb sometimes struggles defensively. We've seen that throughout the years. They did a pretty good job on the second drive from Elmwood, but the Trojans definitely rolling here now, as I believe that's going to be maybe Wind. No, that's not Windish.
Middle, 23 Miles Alger across the 20.
That's a
and
Miles
Trojans
Alger
first down.
falling forward for a Trojans first down.
So one thing when you see an attack like Elmwood-Brimfield's that you want to do, that you want to create, and they had that ball hit the turf on the last drive that got bottled up, and that put them behind the sticks. So that creates a 2nd and 14, which completely takes them off of their game plan, and now they have to either do something else or commit to their plan, which is designed to just keep moving forward in little chunks until they can break one.
Landon Klein across the 14,
when you're behind the
15
sticks,
to the 14.
makes it very difficult to commit to that. But when you
About 5
can
yards,
just
it'll make it
keep
2nd
moving,
and 5.
keep moving. So right here, there's even though there was no gain earlier, so right here, first down play, there's 5-yard gain. So now you're at 2nd and 5. You got a lot of options.
Yeah, you can't let this Elmwood-Brimfield team kind of snowball down the field, and we're seeing that here on this drive. As Tony mentioned, you got to find a way to get them stopped behind the sticks, because if you let them pick up 4 or 5 yards every time,
Spill.
they're going to punch it in. This is another run to the outside.
Oh, Windish around the left
side. It's hard to see here. It looks like Windish
and he's in
will
for
be
Trojans
in for the touchdown.
touchdown.
Hard to see where we're sitting up here in that deep corner, but they're going to say it's a
Once
Trojans
again for that
touchdown.
Trojans
Windish
touchdown,
on another
Farmers State
carry.
Bank
And
excitedly
another
donates
touchdown
$25
for Elmwood-Brimfield. And once again, they'll get set to kick the extra point. Bo Grunau on to kick number 35. Extra point away from putting the Trojans up 7. First kick is good. This one is blocked, however.
Is blocked and no good.
Kyler McMillan and Drew
9:08
Watson exploding
remaining in
there off
second
the
quarter.
side.
Elmwood-Brimfield 13, Macomb
And
7.
able to knock that one down. Saves the extra point.
That comes from watching film. That one right there is something they saw in film that they felt was susceptible, because that's not the typical Bombers extra point defense. That was they saw it and they worked it, and then you saw Drew and Kylan, the two speedsters, at the same. You didn't put them on opposite sides. You put them on the same side to overwhelm the blocker, and they were able to get a big block right there.
Absolutely saves their extra point. So now a touchdown and extra point for Macomb will put them ahead by 1. We will thank some of our sponsors here. Since 1960, Armor Brothers Heating and Cooling has provided the greater Macomb area with expert sales, service, and installation of quality home comfort systems. Call your local Carrier dealer today at 309-833-2852 and find out how Armor Brothers Heating and Cooling delivers 365 days of indoor comfort. The Old Dairy, located at 210 South Lafayette Street, Macomb, Illinois, serving soup, salads, sandwiches, homemade dessert, blueberry ice cream, and a full-service coffee bar. Breakfast served all day and free Wi-Fi. Visit them online at www.olddairy.com or call 309-837-6700 for your takeout. Nine minutes and 8 seconds to play here before the halftime intermission. Looks like Macomb has McMillan and Conley back deep to receive this one. Ball's been fielded deep in the backfield there, trying to make a move, sheds off one tackle before finally being stood up there. It's going to be right around the 25.
26-yard line. Return made by number 10, Kyler Norton.
Kyler Norton on the return, as you just
Bombers will begin there.
heard from the PA announcer. Again, we're set up in the bleachers here. It gets kind of tricky when they're down there in that corner.
That was a really nice kick not only does it get to the 20-yard line, but it had hang time, which allows the coverage team to get down the field. Kyler Norton didn't really have anywhere to go.
So the Bombers will start this drive on their own 26. Looking to answer back after the Windish touchdown just moments ago.
Johnny, their safety is at about 23 yards. They are definitely looking to put a cap on the offense.
Braden Holthouse keeps it.
Holthouse looking to throw that one away. He'll tuck it down
and
and pick up some positive yardage there for Macomb.
Now right there you just saw the safety talking to the cornerback, and I wonder if he's telling him, don't forget, I'm way back here. So feel free to go ahead and get physical up there. Try and stop the receiver's feet because I got you over the top.
Yeah, that's Windish back there. He's playing about 15 yards off the line of scrimmage.
The last one, he was about 22.
Penalty flag down on the play.
As we're going to have a penalty flag down here. It's going to be a false start on Macomb. So the couple yards they picked up on the Holthouse carry will be brought back.
Walk-off takes the ball back to about the 23.
So that's now one penalty against each side, each of 5 yards. You had the defensive offsides earlier, and then now you have an offsides on the Bomber offense. Trips to the wide side of the field on the far side from us.
This will be a handoff up the middle. This is Conley once again trying to break a tackle, cover up that football, and he'll get a
to number 40 Malachi Conley.
Pretty decent gain back there for
the 30
Conley.
to the 31-yard line.
About 8 yards on that play. Still leaves about a 3rd and 5 after the penalty.
Third and 5 for Macomb.
Look for a quick route to the field.
Hard count there, no movement on the Trojan side. We saw the Bombers in this situation earlier on. Again, they look for that quick to McMillan. A little bit misthrow, miscommunication there. They're going to screen it out for Watson this time.
Bottled up.
Trying to make a play with the legs, but nothing going
Watson
there.
Quickly at the line of scrimmage.
Number 89 in on the stop for the Trojans. That's Joey Burkett.
Fourth down. And 5
the
for
senior
the Bombers
for
their
the Trojans.
31-yard line.
So what the play is out there is the theory is you're gonna get the ball out into the hands of your playmaker. You're gonna make a move and get him out into space. What happens there, you have to make a choice. Are you gonna try and run the defense off of it, meaning run go routes, drag your defenders down the field, or are you going to bring your blockers in, bring those wide receivers with crack blocks, with different types of nice punt.
That's a heck of a punt.
Oh, and then a Bomber roll.
He's going to roll about 15 yards on the ground, maybe about 18 there. What a punt there by
that's where the Trojans
Macomb. My goodness. That's going to pin the Trojans all the way back inside their own 20.
At any rate, I think that part of Elmwood's philosophy when they're bringing those cornerbacks back off of the ball pre-snap is they're keeping things in front of them, so when those screens happen, when those now routes happen, they're able to crash down on it. And that was what was going on there.
Someone's actually going to take over
their 13.
Their 13 after that punt. It's going to be a quick flip over for Glenn, the ball carrier. Much a better job there by the Bombers defensive line. He's going to gain about 5 there on the carry.
First contact for the Bombers, number 77, Alex Brown. 4-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Again, the Trojans' offensive line just does such a great job just pushing teams back downfield.
That's what I thought. I saw the near side judge. He ended up getting about a 3-yard gain. Oh, it looks like that's behind the. Okay, I got you.
6 minutes, 41 seconds.
Quarterback heat.
Quickly here. This is Windish.
Forward, close to about the 25-yard line.
He's going to be up. He's going to be good for a first down, I do believe. That'll get the chains moving.
And that's the Trojans' first down.
Another Windish carry there for first down for Elmwood-Brimfield. And Trojans will have to work somewhat quickly here with just 6 minutes and 20 seconds left to play on the clock. Another quick flip out for Glenn, who's going to be bottled up there for Macomb.
Matthew Glenn, the ball carrier, takes it up to about the 29-yard line for a gain of 4 yards.
Now that's one of those plays that we talked about earlier. Yeah, that was
interesting spot.
They gave a lot more forward progress than I thought he attained. At any rate, so that was the quarterback sort of flips it in the air, and the running back runs into it. If your timing is not perfect, that's a pretty dangerous exchange right there.
Yeah, especially if you're able to kind of get back there and maybe put a little pressure on the quarterback. With that little flip he does there out to Glenn. So we're going to see
middle.
This is Windish on the carry. He's going to gain about 3 there maybe. 2 or 3 on the carry for Windish. Going to be short of the first down. That's going to be set up about 3rd and 4, maybe 3.
Bring up 3rd and 3 for the Trojans.
For Elmwood working right in front of us here in the bleachers.
Timeout on the field.
Clock has stopped here. There's the call for the timeout.
Taken by the Trojans.
Waiting to see what we're doing there. Trojans.
Well, it looked like there was an equipment situation where number 7 has to come off the field, and Coach Hulett says, "No, I don't want that to happen. I need 7 on the field." So they went ahead and called the timeout. Go ahead and get the equipment situation fixed and get him back on the field.
So Trojans lead 13-7.
Announcement at halftime.
4 minutes and 55 seconds. Just heard with the PA that it is Elmwood-Brimfield's homecoming, so they'll have homecoming announcements on during the halftime break.
7, of course, is Bo Windish, whose name we've used a lot tonight. So Todd Hollis wants number 7 on the football field at all times.
Absolutely. 2 touchdowns in the game already. The only 2 touchdowns for Elmwood-Brimfield coming courtesy of Bo Windish. It's definitely a smart timeout there. Coming out of the timeout, there'll be 4 minutes and 55 seconds to play. Bombers looking to pick up a big stop here as we inch ever so closer to the halftime break.
Once again, if we can have all
this is where you need to have one of them big defensive plays, maybe pick up a stop in the backfield, get a nice TFL.
To meet Mr. McCoy to line up for halftime, we would appreciate it. 3rd and 3 for the Trojans.
Maybe force a punt on 4th down at Elmwood-Brimfield. We'll see what the Bombers defense can muster up here. It's going to be a handoff here, and the Bombers will do just that. Stopped right at the line. That's Landon Klein on the carry.
Bo Landish was not on the field.
Takes it up to the 34-yard line.
No, he was not.
Now, this is, Todd Hall's going to keep his offense out on the field. This is, they gave him forward progress of about 2 yards. And so now this is 4th and 1, even though you are – all the way back at the 34-yard line. You're deep in your own territory. They're going to go ahead and go for this.
Trusting the offense here. They will work
middle.
Bounce to the outside. It's going to be a first down.
Bo Windish across the 35
and that was Windish back out onto the field. It's going to be about a 4-yard gain and Trojans first down. Four minutes to play. He's going to be handed off for number 5, Lane Johnson. And he's going to fall forward for about 6 there for
by 24, Daniel
the
Taylor
Trojans.
At the 41-yard line. 5-yard gain, 2nd and 5 for the Trojans.
So one of the things that you can do against this defense is, due to the way that they overwhelm that point of attack, is
Johnson again spins forward.
If you can stop the feet of the running back and just slow him down, even though even though you've got the numbers are against you, but if you can create those stalemates at the point of attack, stop the running back's feet, then your backside linebacker who has contain can come down the heel line, right, just right at the line of scrimmage, and come in from behind. And now he's unblocked. So the problem with that is you have to be disciplined enough to scrape right down the heel line. If we bow out a little or bow out a little bit, that's going to disrupt that timing. We've seen that a little bit. You also have to be able to create those stalemates.
Glenn back-to-back carries here.
Again pushes forward to the 43-yard line.
Elmwood into Bombers territory on that last play.
2 for the Trojans.
Just about 3rd and 2 yards to go for Elmwood. Again, the clock's starting to play a little bit of a factor here. You can see the Elmwood side starting to pick up the tempo a little bit. This one's going to be bounced to the outside, looking to pick up blocks downfield. That's Windish on the carry once again. He's got the first down.
5-yard gain and a Trojan first down.
This is really playing right into Elmwood's hands because they're moving down the field. They're also taking the time away and not allowing the Bombers to have the football with any time before the end of the half. Oh, right there was another one of those dangerous tosses, and he had to reach out and one-hand that football.
Windish.
Yeah, Windish made a heck of a play on that football to save the fumble.
36-yard line. 2-yard gain.
He'll pick up about 2 on the carry. That was a long toss there from Ramirez to Windish. Luckily, they didn't put that one on the ground. 2nd and 8 play here. Ramirez will hand it off for Johnson. He's able to bounce off a block up the middle before being brought down in the secondary.
10-yard gain.
Another first down for the Trojans. And again, we talked about that earlier on, just that snowball effect this Elmwood-Brimfield side can muster up. They're tough to slow down when they really start putting the pace on like this.
Johnson again.
Johnson, another carry.
21-yard line for 5 yards.
About 5-yard gain there for Johnson once again. 2nd and 5 now.
What you can't have happen in the absence of chunk plays, which the Bombers have eliminated for the most part, you got to be able to create those stalemates and make those stops either in the backfield or right at the line of scrimmage. But when you're allowing 4, 5, 6 yards a pop, then it winds the clock, lets Elmwood's offense stay on the field, gives them control, and puts you on your heels. So the Bombers really need a big, huge defensive play, which they've had many of this season.
Just over a minute to go. Again, Elmwood will have 2 timeouts. This is going to be Glenn bouncing it to the outside, trying to make a cut back inside. Kind of got tripped up there maybe by Watson.
First down.
You'd see him punching the ground on his way up there. The clock will stop on the first down.
I think did he go out of bounds? No, he did not, because
on the field by Macomb.
It's almost calling a timeout there.
Yep, Macomb took a timeout.
Get that changed. We'll take a quick break as well. You're listening to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. We'll be back with you right after this.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
$55 seconds to play here before halftime. Right here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Again, big shout out to our brothers Heating and Cooling, bringing you all Bomber sports this season.
It'll be first and goal
13
for
to
the Trojans
7, and
the
Trojans have it first and goal. Elmwood still with 2 timeouts as well before halftime. First play on first and goal will be reach out for the touchdown there. That's Windish on the carry once again.
Touchdown!
And Windish will find the end zone for a 3rd time here in the opening half of
10-yard
play.
touchdown run for number 7, Bo Windish. And Farmers State Bank exuberantly donates another $25 for that Trojans touchdown.
There's a lot of people at home right now that are asking themselves, what's going on here? The Bombers played toe-to-toe with Farmington, the number 2 team in 2A, and Farmington had just beaten Elmwood 40-0. How's this even possible? It's all about matchups. You can't just look at scores, look at results, and say this that we can project outcomes. It's all about matchups. And right now, Macomb has to figure out how they're going to create those stalemates as Macomb is able to stop right there and eliminate that 2-point conversion.
49.3 seconds remaining.
That's
in the first
huge.
half of play.
So Elmwood had tried to bring it back to
7.
21, eliminate that blocked extra point earlier, but they were unable to get across the line to gain. So it's a 12-point deficit now for the Bombers. Only have 49 seconds, and the kickoff is going to suck some of that up. So interesting to see what Tanner Horrell dials up, because the Bombers will get the ball after halftime.
Yeah, and as you mentioned there about matchups, I'm a big UFC and MMA fan, and that's one thing that they talk about a lot. They call it MMA math, where you can't really judge matchups based on who beat who. Well, this guy beat this guy, so we should beat this guy. It's not exactly how it always works. It almost never pans out that way, and you can see that here in the first half. But Macomb, we've seen all year a very, very resilient football team. They're able to take beatings and come back from those. Again, we talked about the Breeze Modern Day game. They're down 14-0, able to come back and win that one. Kind of had the script flipped on them last week against Farmington, going up 14-0 before eventually losing that one in overtime. But definitely not a defeat to hold your head about last week against Farmington. So it's going to take some effort out of the Bombers here. Again, 49 seconds to play in the first half. As Elmwood gets set to kick this one through. Again, this is Bo Gruno.
We don't talk about Gruno. See right there.
By Norton.
At the 15 by number 10.
We are right on the almost on the 40-yard line,
35-yard line
where they kick off from, and we're a couple of orange jerseys that were 2 yards downfield before the ball was kicked. But again, it's both ways. So there's been one foul called each way. Again, not criticizing. There's no excuses here. It's just taking in information, seeing how the football game's being played.
Bombers 46 seconds, one timeout remaining for them. Again, we know the Bombers can get yards in a hurry. This is going to be a whole house scrambling to the outside. He's got Watson and the first down, as Watson will tuck it away and get out of bounds there.
So now you're in plus territory. 37.1 seconds left. But you've got 2 timeouts. No, you got one timeout still in your pocket. We just called the one down here.
Watson not able to get out of bounds there.
So they're running essentially what amounts to cover 2. They got 2 safeties back. This is actually a cornerback that they're dropping back. Elmwood goes ahead and calls a timeout to sort of regroup.
We got Coach Driscoll in the chat saying that he hopes that the Bombers make some great halftime adjustments. And, yeah, we've seen that a lot this season. This Bombers team is definitely different coming out of the halftime break. Again, only down 12. You don't have a huge deficit.
So wait a minute. Hold on. This was just 37 seconds. There's an out-of-bounds play, and the clock's now at 27 seconds.
I don't think they said Watson was out of bounds because the clock rolled there.
But he never got tackled.
I
He ran out of bounds.
I completely agree with you. But the clock rolled on that before that last play.
1st and 10 for Macomb from the Elmwood-Brimfield 45-yard line.
That's interesting.
And Elmwood-Brimfield took the timeout there. Macomb looking to give the Trojans a little bit of their own medicine there. A quick flip out for Norton.
Met by number 8, Landon Klein.
Landon Klein in on the stop. It'll be a 1-yard game. Bombers will use their last timeout to stop the clock. So 21 seconds, 2nd and 9. Again, we know the Bombers are capable of big hitters downfield. Saw that earlier on in the long pass play out for Norton that eventually led to a Bombers touchdown. We don't have terrible field position here out on the 43.
So the problem, though, with essentially 22 seconds, should be 32, but we're past that, is if a long pass play like that doesn't get home, that is a long scramble to try and reassemble at the line and get a spike. So really what you need to do is either play the sidelines or play the middle of the field and get up and spike the ball, because you need to give yourself 2 plays at least, if not 3.
Holthouse will look over the middle. He's got Watson. That ball is caught. Watson trying to make a
go
play
down, go down,
here.
go down, go down. Get up there on the ball.
Drew Watson.
And now the clock stops on the first down. That's excellent.
The 13-yard line.
I come up and spike this one down, you would think. Bombers taking a lot.
They hadn't blown it in, I don't think. Oh, they had, because they had.
Spikes.
We lost a second and a half on that one. This is getting interesting.
That was a huge reception by Watson downfield. Bombers have this one all the way up on the Trojans 13.
It'll make a second.
Just
and
13
10
seconds
for the
to play.
13.
Watch Drew Watson on inside. He's over.
Holthouse, another hard count, and not a much better spot for that one.
Penalty flag is
Flag will
offsides
come out.
against the
Bombers will
Trojans.
pick up 5 on the offsides, and that's going to set up Macomb inside the Elmwood-Brimfield 10-yard line.
Which is even better. So watch this. So they're pressing up 81, the outside linebacker, on Drew Watson, and they're playing cover 2. They're trying to cap these routes, but he's over in between. He's apexing the 2 receivers. So inside slant behind the linebackers right here should work.
Holthouse looking over the middle once again. That pass broken up, nearly intercepted
broken
there.
up by number 11,
Oliver Thornton in on the coverage for
It'll make a
the
third
Trojans.
down and 5 for Macomb.
So basically they tried to do an exchange
8-yard
right there, the
line.
Bombers, where they ran. It's almost a smash
Trojans.
concept. They ran the corner route with Drew Watson, trying to create confusion in the coverage. Kylan McMillan does an outside slant. I mean, he's slanting into the middle of the field, but from the outside position. But the cornerback did an excellent job of staying with him. Now this time the safety gets inside position.
Third down, 9 seconds to play. Holthouse will scramble to the near sideline once again, looking to get rid of it. He's got a man in the end zone.
Oh, no!
Pass is incomplete in the end zone. Intended for
Norton
number 2,
had
Kylan
hands on it.
McMillan.
It's
That'll
Kylan
be a fourth
McMillan.
down.
Kylan McMillan did a great job of breaking off of his route in a scramble drill, finds space between 2 orange jerseys. The ball's delivered to him, just couldn't handle the football.
I might have heard footsteps there in the coverage. That would have been a huge play for Macomb headed into the halftime break. Still got one more crack at it here with 4 seconds to play on 4th down. As whistle blows here, it appears Elmwood will take their final timeout of the half.
Timeout on the field.
There, to Elmwood.
Taken by the Trojans.
Did you see the far side official? He said timeout on the Bombers. Well, we don't have any.
No, I didn't. I did not catch that.
We have tonight's
19-7, 4 seconds to play here in
Please take out your
before half.
50-50
We'll take a quick
ticket if
break.
you
You're
bought one
listening to
tonight.
TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
MDH Sport Medicine Rehab is just not for the athlete. We see a variety of ages, getting them from having pain to no pain to get back to their normal activities and their prior level of function.
I grew up in a small town in Missouri, and I like the feel of community. I like knowing the people that I take care of and knowing the people around me, providing care for someone that you know is in this community and helping them to get better.
Back here,
4th and 5
Bombers
for the Bombers.
looking to pick up a score
The
here
8-yard line
before we
with
head
the
into the
Trojans.
touchdown, or the halftime break, I should say. Bombers looking for a touchdown. Holthouse empty backfield set. He'll look to throw far sideline comeback out here. Will be
Pass
broken
is
up
incomplete.
in the end zone. Good coverage there by Elmwood-Brimfield.
Yeah, he tries to go back shoulder, and the cornerback's well positioned where we would have to fight through him to get back to the ball, which is not pass interference. He has a right to the football.
Downs with 0.3 seconds left in the second quarter.
So 0.3, I would assume Elmwood's going to come out and
Trojans
just knee
will
this one
take
away.
over on offense.
go into the halftime break with a 12-point advantage. And it looks like they will do just that. So that'll send us to the
Trojans take a knee, and that'll take us to the end
break.
of our first half of play. Score at the end of one half, Elmwood-Brimfield.
Elmwood-Brimfield up by 12,
Macomb
19-7 is our score over Macomb. Bombers had a chance there, but it's a drop McMillan pass in the end zone that will have them come up short. Just a really hard-nosed half of football out of Elmwood-Brimfield, but you really come to expect that. It's been, as you mentioned earlier on, they've been running the same offense for how many ever years, but it works every year, year in and year out. We will take a break here during halftime and be back with you before the start of the third quarter. You're listening to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. We'll see you on the other side of this halftime intermission.
All right, welcome to halftime here. Patrick Osterman with us, and we talk about behind-the-scenes stuff all the time. The guy running the board right now, kind of crazy.
I don't know if you could get a much higher title running the board behind the scenes of an interview at McDonough District Hospital other than our president and chief executive officer, Bill Murdoch. But we appreciate Bill helping us out.
Yeah, he's game to help with everything. I'm guessing your job has to be a little more relaxed now. He seems to be like a pretty good guy to work with.
I tell you what, Bill has done a fantastic job. You knew just how good of a person he was, having worked with him for the last 5 years prior as our chief financial officer. And when he was promoted to our chief executive officer, I was all excited about it. I think everybody in the organization was very excited about it. You talk about, do you need to do a national search? And our board of directors, I give them all the credit in the world. They listen to the staff. They listen to the community members and said, you got somebody here who knows what they're doing, is a great person, does a great job. He knows the community. He's invested in the community, and it's been a great 2024 so far, and we've got a lot of bright future, a lot of great things that we're looking ahead towards.
Well, it's nice because MDH has been so embedded in the community, right? It is always nice to have somebody at the top and throughout the system that's also embedded in what the community has to offer and needs.
Absolutely. With my job, I do a lot of community relations. I get out, talk with businesses, talk with organizations. And one of the first conversations I had with Bill when he stepped into that new role, he said, Pat, I want to get out in the community. And we've been able to do that. We've gone out and met with our regional healthcare colleagues, CEOs, just talking about what can we do together? Is there anything we can do together? Rural healthcare is tough. There's a lot of challenges we face, but if we work together, maybe play to each other's strengths, I think we can both succeed. And that's the best way that we can help serve our community, help serve the patients that we are here to serve.
Well, and improving your brand is always a good thing, right? Whether it's a hospital or TSSR Game Time Live, improving your brand is a good thing. Getting out in the community helps that, but also expanding your options helps that as well, right?
Absolutely. One of the things you always look at is clinical partnerships. If we can't get a physician here, is there another healthcare organization that we can do what we call a clinical partnership with? Blessing Health is a great example out of Quincy. They bring cardiologists up here, a pulmonologist. We have a urologist that comes up here once a week. So our patients in McDonough County, they don't have to drive down to Quincy or maybe Springfield or maybe Peoria. If we can find those clinical partnerships where they can be seen here in Macomb, it's just a win-win for everybody.
Well, last year we talked about expanding to Monmouth with you. We talked about the pharmacy. As we talked to Bill, the pharmacy is expanding, and I shouldn't say expanding, it's coming to completion. You've done great things, I think, in Monmouth. What's down the road for MDH? Are you at a point that you can talk about anything that's coming?
I think we just got to keep looking on how we can continue to grow, and that's been one of our focal points. We do strategic planning on a quarterly basis. We want to look ahead, 2-3 years down the road, but as we said, there's a lot of dynamics going on in healthcare right now. So if you get too far ahead, you kind of lose sight what could be coming right around the corner. So that's why we try to keep it more of a short term, yet still look ahead to the long term. Like we said, our biggest challenge is how can we continue to grow? We've been here for over 65 years. What can we do as an organization, as a staff, as an administration team to make sure we're still around here for 65 years and beyond?
As public relations guy for the hospital, what do you want to use this opportunity to tell the people that might be watching about MDH in 2024 that's different maybe than what they expected or saw from 2023 or before?
Well, as you just talked about, our clinical expansions, as you said, Monmouth, our MDH Monmouth Clinic, convenience clinic, sports med and rehab. We got great staff up there, and I think that's a common theme. I know Bill talks about this a lot. I 100% on board with this too. I agree 100%. I would think you'd ask any of our staff members, they would say that we got a great team right now. We do a great job working together, and I think that's how we can play to our strengths to help grow. You talked about the community pharmacy. We're excited when that starts coming online and how we can best serve our community. A lot of convenience. I think one thing that we learned from COVID, people love convenience. We got our drive-through labs, and now you got our drive-through community pharmacy. A lot of good things going on. Stay tuned. It's an exciting time right now in our organization.
Well, have some fun at baseball this weekend, okay?
We're going to have some fun. A lot of fall baseball going on as we record this right before the start of high school football season. I know we're going to have a lot of great football games. We want to wish all of our area teams the best of luck this year.
We'll be right back with the second half right after this.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today, and make your voice heard.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
After my appointment that day, I just made up my mind that I'm going to have my baby here in Macomb and this hospital, because irrespective of where you're from, who you are, it's just their line of duty to make sure they give care, make you comfortable.
I thought about the staff of MDH, they're all good. And you get all the support you need. This is just the best place for you and your family.
I chose MDH. We moved here and I was researching different places that would allow me to VBAC, have a vaginal birth after C-section, and the doctors here do encourage that, and so I chose that after looking online and I wouldn't want to deliver anywhere else because they all go above and beyond, and they're so kind and actually care about you.
My experience with McDonough District Hospital was amazing. I have a lot of allergies, complicated by nasal problems. And the procedure I had is Vive Air. Dr. Sparks was incredible.
The Vive Air procedure is a radiofrequency ablation procedure. She no longer has to do any medications to breathe, so she gets a much more restful night's sleep. And a short little office procedure, and have somebody that feels like it's totally changed their life means the world.
It's a permanent improvement on the quality of your life.
Minimally invasive surgery offers a variety of benefits to the patient. We're now able to offer patients a variety of operations with small incisions rather than big open incisions. The surgeries that we can do now, minimally invasive, include bariatrics, hernia repair, colorectal surgeries, faster recovery, smaller incisions, faster time back to work.
It was the community that really drew me back to Macomb. I'm from a small community, and I'm from a farm family, and ultimately I always wanted to practice in a place like that, and I felt that I had the ability to connect to people who with a similar background from me, and the fact that the staff members at the hospital and the support, all the support staff at the hospital was also focused with the goal of patient care. It felt like it just all came hammered at home for me.
When my parents told me they'd be using Adam's experts, I felt a bit replaced. I mean, they always called me to remove their viruses or get their printer connected to Wi-Fi. He even set up their new Roku.
How do I adopt a new son?
But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adam's Experts. Repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home technology needs.
Home is more than a place. It's full of the people and moments that matter most. Providing for loved ones, expanding your horizons, or simply living the life you love. With all you have to protect, choose insurance you can count on so you can experience more of what you live for. Country Financial. Experience more.
The industry-first 2-in-1 removable agitator from Whirlpool gives you 2 ways to wash. Jeans, in. Sweaters, out. Towels, in. Comforters, out. You decide. Whirlpool.
There's been a lot of rewarding parts working at McDonough District Hospital. I've had patients come to me that maybe have not had care in the community, care available, so with the addition of nurse practitioners lately we've been able to add more care, and that's very rewarding to me. My hope is that when the patients leave at the end of an appointment, they leave and they definitely feel like they've been listened to, and they feel like their needs have been met, their cares have been met, and that they're going to get the proper treatment that they deserve from me as a provider.
It was the community that really drew me back to Macomb. I'm from a small community, and I'm from a farm family, and ultimately I always wanted to practice in a place like that, and I felt that I had the ability to connect to people who with a similar background from me, and the fact that the staff members at the hospital and the support, all the support staff at the hospital was also focused with the goal of patient care. It felt like it just all came hammered at home for me.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today, and make your voice heard.
I see acute injuries on the field. I see ankle sprains. I see ACL knee injuries, as well as in the clinic. It's very rewarding to see them from on the field injury to rehab to transition back to their event.
Well, I've always had an interest in the medical field, and then growing up, I actually went through physical therapy myself for an injury, and that got me back to playing my sports and the activities that I loved. So seeing that firsthand, I got to see how much physical therapy could really benefit others.
Back here at Elmwood High School, as the Trojans have a 12-point lead over the Macomb Bombers. John Burton and Coach Weston in on the call for you here tonight, as Honor Brothers Heat and Cooling brings you all Bomber sports this season. And Tony, it was really a pretty decent half of football. Of course, if you were Trojans fans, the Bombers didn't look bad there. Had a chance to score late in the first half. Again, it was a drop pass by Kyler McMillan in the end zone to come up just a bit short. But this Trojans offense, as we've seen year in and year out, has just really done a nice job rolling down the field. What kind of adjustments do the Bombers need to make coming out of this halftime break to really slow the momentum down of Elmwood-Brimfield?
Well, I think first and foremost, on the interior side of the defensive line, we've got to be able to hold our ground. We can't get kicked out. We've got to shore up every gap. All right, we can't allow one gap, because what's happening is these run plays are slow developing, and then they shoot through once they see where the hole is. So we've got to make sure that we are not allowing these holes, that we're not trying to do too much, that we're not trying to play hero football, but we're doing our job. Number two, our outside linebackers are getting too deep into the backfield, where what they need to do, especially that backside linebackers, they need to scrape hard and fast down the line of scrimmage to be able to get that slow developing play. They can get to that running back, but when you bow out 4 yards into the backfield or so, you're taking yourself out of the football play. So we've got to be able to scrape down the heel line with our outside linebackers behind the play, but at the point of attack, we've got to be able to be big. We've got to be able to stand up, or not stand up. We got to stay low. I say be big. I mean be big. Be a immovable rock, but you got to get low, keep your pad level low, and create those piles at the line of scrimmage. We've got to stop the running back's feet, so that we can allow our pursuit
Trojans
to rally to the football. On the offensive side of the ball, got to get our run game going, and we've got to get people off of our receivers. We've got to be able to find some grass so that we have so that we can show our numbers to Braden Holthouse so that he can deliver the football to us.
Yeah, and that's one thing I want to point out there in the first half. Malachi Conley, he didn't get the ball very often, but I believe the 2 or 3 times he got the ball, he was able to burst it through for 7-8 yards. So it could be something the Bombers maybe look for coming out at halftime on the adjustment. And, of course, Holthouse has to get it going with the legs as well. And as we talked about all year, if Holthouse can, as I mentioned, get it going with the legs, that really opens up the passing game for him as well. Bombers will get set to receive the opening kickoff of the second half. It'll be the band whose names we don't mention to kick this one away, Mr. Gruno.
Hey, anytime you can drop a Disney reference, you run with it.
It'll be Conley and McMillan back deep to receive. This one's going to make it all the way out there. I believe that's Norton on the return here along the near sideline. A big hit there as Norton's going to be brought out of bounds.
Returns it up to the
right around the 33. Yard return from Norton.
And the Bombers will begin their 1st and 10 at their own 33.
So 1st and 10 for Macomb, starting on their own 33-yard line. Bombers are in a similar spot before the halftime break. We're able to drive the ball all the way down the field with just about a minute to go. Thanks to a couple big passing plays. Hull House takes a snap. It will start with an opening handoff for Malachi Conley. It'll be another nice game there for number 40.
Looks like he picks up right about.
Just across the 40-yard
Oh my
line.
goodness! They pushed that ball all the way back
Second and 2 for the
to the 40-yard line. He was out to about the 43. But halftime adjustment I'm seeing right now is these outside linebackers and cornerbacks aren't pressed up, but they're also not bailing. They're at about 5 yards.
Hull House will look to keep this one. Has a nice gap there, able to split through there. And it'll be a sports corner first down. And Hull House into Trojans territory now.
Oh, there they go.
Ball spotted at the Trojan 49. First and 10 for Macomb.
Clock continues to roll. Fresh set of downs for Macomb. It's going to be another handoff. This is going to be May on the carry, trying to bounce it to this inside sideline. It looks like he will be pushed out of bounds right before the 40. It'll be about a 9-yard carry for May. I think he's going to come up just short.
Second and 1.
I'm going to give a big shout out. Shelby Bergen in the house tonight, doing some sideline reporting there. Down on the track, might catch a glimpse of him through the camera at some point. Second and 1, Hull House will look to pass, and that ball is caught. I didn't see the receiver there for a second. Is that Norton down there? No, it's Jack Beal, I do believe. Players were lined up just perfectly, like a eclipse or something there. Couldn't even see him there. I thought that pass was going to fall incomplete.
10 for the Bombers from the 35 of the Trojans.
So we got trips to the near side, the wide side of the field.
It'll be another handoff for May. He's going to gain a yard or two there.
It's like he leans for, well, depending on the spot. Looked like he leaned forward for a yard.
About a yard on the play.
But that play was
Second and 9 for the Bombers.
pretty much corralled in the backfield, and Drake May just lowers his shoulders and pounds his knees in order to get past the line of scrimmage.
May will come to the sideline. Conley will replace him in the backfield. Hull House on the zone keeper. Conley will lead block for him. And that run Hull House will bring it up to about the Trojans 30.
30-yard line.
Before being stood up there, it's going to set up 3rd and 5
It'll make a
for
3rd and
Macomb.
5 for the Bombers.
So now you are at the 30-yard line. Sorry, 25 is the yard to gain. So you're in 4-down territory. So you got 2 cracks to get these 5 yards. Staying in trips to the near side.
Hard count from Hull House. No movement on the Elmwood-Brimfield side. Clock rolls to just over 9 minutes. Hull House will take the snap this time. He's going to look to run once again. Almost broke free there.
He's going to be about a half a yard short. So, and again, there wasn't much there. He just drives himself forward and ends up reaching that arm out.
Got the clock stopped.
And they go ahead and they give the first down.
Yeah, they're going to give him the first down. Sports corner first down on the run for Hull House. Yeah, I thought he came up just a bit short. They're going to spot it right at the chain. First and 10 now for Macomb. Ball on the Trojans 25. Hull House will look to throw once again. He's got Watson deep down the field.
Oh, he caught it! Oh my gosh, what a catch!
What a spectacular grab there from Drew Watson. And Macomb's going to have this on about the 2-yard line.
So you call that double coverage. Quarterback's on him. Cornerback is on him. You've got the cap safety coming over the top. Cap safety was behind the play a little bit. So while he's there, it wasn't really playing into it, and especially with the corner out, that ball is perfectly thrown just over the cornerback, and an amazing acrobatic catch by Drew Watson to haul that ball down.
Bombers just 2 yards to go for the end zone. They'll bring App Logan into the backfield. Holthouse will keep it on the sneak. He'll push the pile forward, and we're going to have a Bombers touchdown.
Holthouse keeps it, and he is in for a touchdown.
What a way to start the second half there. Bombers.
That late flag, very late flag. Sideline warning on Macomb.
Interesting there. I doubt we're going to get any clarification on that one, but Brester's still looking over towards the sideline. He's going to come to tell him to push back a little bit.
That's terrible. That's terrible. Punch it in again.
So
still a touchdown. It's a dead ball penalty.
Yeah, Coach will
negate the touchdown.
They're going to say that's going to negate the touchdown.
That doesn't negate the touchdown.
Not sure.
5 yards.
And the Bombers are going to lose 5 yards there. And again, I believe it was a sideline infraction of sorts there.
That is interesting.
Interesting. So Bombers now 6th and 1st. Got to do it one more time. Holthouse fakes the handoff to Conley.
Again. That is Drew Watson. That is a perfectly thrown football by Braden Holthouse just over the helmet of the cornerback. Drew Watson goes up over him and catches it on his head, brings that ball back into his chest, secures it, puts his feet down, and that is a touchdown for the Bombers.
Yeah, Watson comes to the sideline, gives a couple taps to the helmet there, as the kids might say he mossed him on that one.
I just want to say, Mr. Hulett, Dwayne Hulett, if you're listening, I am doing everything I can. I'm remaining professional and holding it all in.
So Hayden Katz will get set to kick the extra point away, 19-13. And it'll be 19-14 on that kick there. Bombers trail by a score still. 8:08 remaining here in the third quarter on the touchdown pass from Holthouse to Watson. You're listening to TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. We'll be back with you right after this.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Back here, Elmwood-Brimfield, big touchdown there from the Macomb Bombers. Again, able to bring this to a one-score contest as Elmwood gets set for their second drive, or first drive of the second half, I should say. Again, 2 huge plays from Drew Watson there. They had the big pass play that brought the Bombers within basically about 3 yards to the end zone. Bombers were able to push it in on the quarterback sneak. That play was called back after the penalty. And then Watson replicates it with another acrobatic catch, and just the mindfulness to keep the feet in, as well as that ball was spotted directly in the back of the end zone. As he went to a knee there to catch that one. That's going to be down at the 27, 26 maybe.
At the Trojan 27-yard line.
Last time that the Bombers had put Elmwood in field position like this, way back into their own territory, the very first play was a big chunk run.
Trojan 26, and that's
so right now you want to take advantage of this. You want to get them behind the sticks. This is a huge defensive moment for the Bombers.
Absolutely, especially after just punching in that touchdown just moments ago. There'll be a flip out for Glenn.
Matthew
They'll go
Glenn
for about 4 yards there.
To the 30-yard line. Gain of 4 on the play. 2nd and 6 for the Trojans.
2nd and 6 now after the 4-yard run for Glenn and the Trojans.
So I mentioned earlier, and this is something to keep an eye on, that there aren't a lot of flags. Now, the flag that just happened notwithstanding, before that there was a couple of flags on Elmwood, one on the Bombers, and
Windish again on the carry up to about the 35.
Windish, the ball carrier.
So what we're watching right now is there is a lot of chippiness starting to happen on the football field. There is a lot of extracurricular action. There is a lot of involvement between the two teams, and I'm not saying it's one side or the other. I saw one on the opening kickoff. Actually, you could have flagged the Bomber player to begin with, and you could have flagged the Elmwood player at the end of it, and there was an official right standing there watching, and there was no flag either way. So that's something you don't want to have happen, is you don't want to lose control of this game and have something unfortunate happen. You want to make sure that you have control and that we maintain our sportsmanship.
First down for Elmwood-Brimfield, stops the clock. We don't have a football on the ground there. I think Elmwood recovered it.
Windish, met quickly.
Windish on another carry, but he's going to be stopped after maybe half a yard there. And actually, they're going to spot that about 2 yards forward.
Maybe a yard on the play. 2nd and 9.
.28 stretching it out, makes first guy miss, and he's caught by the second guy.
Much better job there by the Bombers' defensive line, able to wrestle Glenn down.
Group of Bombers led by number 20, Nolan Hoge.
Here there, Nolan Hoge again on the stop, as well as Alex
Old
Brown.
Nolan Hoge right there on the old play. That's my guy, Nolan Hoge. The broadcaster didn't ask about that one before the game. Okay, so this is an interesting moment. Only once before have they had 3rd and long. So now this is keep right there.
Windish puts his head down, able to run over Norton. And he's going to have the first down.
And that was interesting. Windish, great job. He kept his great balance. He's able to keep his feet, moves forward. But I think he thought he was out of bounds. He was still 2 full yards in bounds. He literally just stood up and stopped. And a Bomber came up and knocked him out of bounds, and he didn't like it. But he was in bounds. So that was interesting.
This one's going to be handed off for number 5, Lane Johnson.
Lane Johnson up ahead.
Haven't called his name yet on this drive.
Before being pushed back.
Spot Johnson about 2 yards there on the carry.
So one thing I noticed right now, one of the adjustments is the Bombers are in more of a rotation on defense. They are really cycling players in and out, trying to get matchups, down and distance specific.
Another hard carry there.
Klein, the ball carrier, takes it down to the Bomber 35-yard line. 10-yard pickup.
But also trying to keep guys fresh.
Klein was able to pull the pile forward there about 4 to 5 yards. It turns into a 10-yard gain and a first down for Elmwood.
Well, that's one of those moments. If you remember, we were in the middle of the Farmington crowd last week. There was another one of those tosses. Oh, he gets through.
Lane Johnson cuts it back inside the 20. Down to about the 17-yard line, 18-yard gain, and another Trojans first down.
Is that Nolan Hoge on the tackle or Lambert? Yeah, Nolan Hoge. He does a nice job. He wraps around the waist and then he tomahawks with his right hand, trying to get a free football.
1st and 10 Trojans.
Ball on the Bombers 17. That's kind of hard to see from the angle that we're sitting at here. Looks like it's going to be a handoff. Maybe a keeper. Ball on the ground here. I think Elmwood's going to have it.
There is a fumble on the play.
It was Windish on the carry. Although you wouldn't know it with that fumble.
It is recovered by the Trojans.
Boy, that is 3 times that the ball's hit the ground, and it's just bounced right back into Elmwood's hands every time.
2nd and 5 for Elmwood-Brimfield.
After the fumble will be a nice gain. Elmwood will hand it off up the middle once again.
Miles Olger up the middle.
That's Olger on the carry.
The 10.
Bringing up 3rd down.
Number 77, Alex Brown at the 8-yard line.
Alex Brown in on the stop. It would be about 3rd and 2. Again, working inside the Bombers' 10.
It'll be 3rd and 2 for the Trojans.
Looks like Elmwood's bringing in an extra lineman here.
Ramirez, a little bit of issues there on the snap, and the Bombers will time up in the backfield. Watson as well as number 24 and on the stop, Daniel Taylor.
That looked like it was a design naked boot. It could have been a bad exchange, but it looked to be like it was going to be design naked boot. And I think the Bombers had that snuffed out anyway, but he lost his footing coming out and pretty much put that play in jeopardy from the word go.
And again, that's a huge loss at that point in the game. That's going to bring up 4th and 6. That's going to force a timeout out of Elmwood-Brimfield as well.
By the Trojans.
Let's go now, defense!
So Bombers looking to post up a big stop here in the red zone. And the Trojans will be faced with a 4th and 6. We'll thank some of our sponsors here. Macomb's original local sports bar is the Sports Corner at 124 with a focus on local sports. Catch WIU games and all the area TSSR Game Time live broadcast at Sports Corner at 124. All while enjoying your favorite cold drink and some of the best food in West Central Illinois. Stop in and say hi at 124 North Randolph Street in Macomb. Face-to-face over the phone, by email, or by text. Choose how you do business with Tom Conklin, State Farm Macomb. You can reach them at 309-837-1200 or visit them online at www.macombsf.com. Better yet, stop in and get your quote today at 1221 West Jackson Street in Macomb. King Family Chiropractic with locations in Bushnell, Macomb, support all area student athletes. They offer office hours in Macomb Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Bushnell Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. To set up an appointment, call 309-837-6932.
11-yard line.
And that is Midwest Chiropractic, or King Family Chiropractic, I should say. 2 minutes, 42 seconds, 4th and 6. Huge defensive play here for Macomb. It's going to be Glenn on the outside, still working towards that first down. He's going to be brought up short.
Short of the marker.
Oh, boy. You got a Bomber down in the backfield.
We got an injured Bomber here on the field.
No. Oh, it's cramp.
Yeah, cramp it up there. App Logan is the first there. Go help him out.
I saw Noah there grab that leg. I'm like, no.
That was Taylor Quisenberry. He's up walking off the field. Huge defensive stand there by Macomb, but you got to cap it off with a touchdown on the other end.
First down and 10.
Worst case scenario, you've got to get a first down or two. You've got to progress this ball down the field. What you don't want to do is get a 3 and out and be punting here inside the 10-yard line or even inside the 20 and end up giving them half a field to work with.
So Macomb will start back on their own 9. They'll have basically the length of the field to go. Whole House will pass on first down here. Looking towards the far sideline. He's got Lambert downfield. Did
Stay on your feet, stay on your feet.
Did. What a grab there by Langdon Lambert once again.
Boy, I got to tell you, this is the best night. Braden Holdhouse has thrown some of his best footballs of the season, has put them directly on the money. But when you do that, that means there's tight coverage. That means this is a contested catch. These receivers have to make these catches, and they're making them. This is a phenomenal night of the aerial attack.
Macomb will go from their own 9 all the way up to about their own 40. And here's another nice run play for Conley that goes for about 9 yards, pushing into Trojans territory.
9-yard gain. 2nd and 1 for Macomb.
Second and a short 1 now for the Macomb Bombers. Clock rolls under 2 minutes. Holthouse looking to scramble out here, trying to find a man downfield. Looking back the other direction, he's got Watson over the middle of the field. He catches it, hit immediately. So this is going to be all the way up to the Trojans 35.
By number 1, Drew Watson at the Trojan 35. It'll be 1st and 10 for Macomb.
Hey, you know what makes that play go right there is Malachi Conley on that boot. Makes a great block and actually takes out 2 defenders to give Braden Holdhouse time to make that call or to make that throw.
A little bit of movement there on the hard count, not enough to cross over the line. Clock is still rolling. Holdhouse waiting. Holdhouse has Watson once again, throwing a little bit behind him there. Possible fall incomplete.
2nd and 10.
So So remain 2nd and 10 now for Macomb. Clock will stop.
Looked like that was the opposite timing issue that we had earlier. That one was thrown behind Drew Watson.
Full house looking to throw once again. Nice block there. Looking for Watson over the middle, just a bit out of reach.
The pass intended for Drew Watson is incomplete. 3rd and 10 for Macomb from the 35 of the Trojans.
Again, Macomb looking deep downfield, and now it'll be 3rd and 10 after
Now,
the 2 incompletions.
We got to pick up. So what gives Braden Holdhouse time to make that throw? Again, Malachi Conley, there's a blitz off the edge. He slides out, picks it up, creates a stalemate, and gives the quarterback an opportunity. They don't connect on it, but I just want to point out that even on non-carry downs, Malachi Conley is impacting this football game.
Macomb will put Watson in motion briefly. They're going to screen it out for Conley. He's got the ball, makes a nice cut there. Conley's going to have the first down and room to run.
Oh, and he makes the safety turn his hips, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. What a beautiful run.
What a run after catch there by Conley. And we just mentioned Conley making an impact without the ball in his hands. Well, he gets the ball right there, and he's able to punch in 6 for Macomb.
Guys, that's also an absolutely beautiful play design by Tanner Horrell. You've got the yo-yo motion to the near side, draws the eyes, draws the linebacker's feet, and you go screen away from it to Malachi Conley. You get your blockers out there. Now they have a linebacker that wasn't fooled. He's the CBR guy, cutback, boot, reverse, stays home. But
Bombers are going to go through 2. Holmes finally gets rid of it, and it's caught in the end zone.
His pass is complete.
Who's that? That's number 20, Nolan Hogue on the 2-point conversion.
1:01 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Or as you might say, Nolan Hogue.
Elmwood-Brimfield 19.
Nolan still has the football.
But what a job there by Holthouse, able to extend that play out. He's able to shed a couple of tackles in the backfield.
Oh, absolutely. They thought he had him knocked down, and he's able to keep his balance. Very similar to what we saw Windish down here. Keep his balance, bring that right arm up, and he never left his downfield eyes. He's still looking for receivers. He didn't panic. He didn't start trying to take off. He found Nolan Hogue, and there wasn't a big window to throw that football, and he put it in the exact right spot. Nolan Hogue's being tackled as he's bringing the ball in, able to keep his concentration and hold the football.
That 2-point conversion is huge. Puts the Bombers up by 2. And while we didn't see it earlier on when the Trojans had the ball down around the Bombers about 8-yard line, they do have a kicker that has one heck of a leg on him. We've seen it on the opening kickoffs. We've seen it on the extra point attempts. So those 3 points could be huge down the stretch.
Let's go now, defense!
I wouldn't be surprised to see a little pooch right over that middle line in that bubble in the middle of the field and see if somebody can get the wheels up to go and recover that.
Cats will kick it away. This is number 7, Oliver Thornton on the return. And he's going to be brought down. Not much room to run there for Thornton. Brought down right around the 25.
6-yard line. And that's where the Trojans will begin. 1st and 10.
Big defensive series right here for the Bombers. They get the stop at the far end of this of the field. They get the turnover on downs inside the red zone. They're able to move 91 yards and punch the football in to take the lead. Now you need to go ahead and stop this momentum, get this football back.
And we'll work with 55 seconds before we head to the 3rd quarter. This is Glenn on the carry.
Glenn takes up to the 29-yard line.
We have a 3-yard gain.
2nd and 7 for the Trojans.
Somehow. 2nd down and 7. Another quick handoff up the middle. Pile pushes forward once again.
Yep. Now that's one where they had 3 or 4 big man wall that was just driving forward, acting as like the old Roman shield, coming down the battlefield, and the running back just staying right behind him.
Another quick handoff here on third down. They're going to come up just short. It would appear.
At the 35.
And the clock will expire. We'll get things flipped around here in the fourth quarter. When we come back, Elmwood-Brimfield will be faced with a 4th and about 1.
Elmwood-Brimfield,
We will take a quick break here in between quarters. Be right back after this. You're listening to TSSR Game Time Live as Honor Brothers Heating and Cooling brings you Bomber Sports.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today, and make your voice heard.
Back here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Bombers lead by 3 as we head into the fourth quarter.
I would be shocked right here to see anything other than that wall in the middle and just trying to run right up the gut. Other than the last play, they've really had success with it. It's a long 1, a short 2, and I really anticipate them just trying to push the pile. And they're going up the middle, and they get into the second level.
Bo Windish, the ball carrier, up over the 45.
Windish brought down past the 45. Just needed a 1. He's able to pick up
about 10.
About 10 there.
Taylor in on the tackle for Macomb.
Daniel Taylor in on the stop for the Bombers. First down for Elmwood-Brimfield.
They juggled the ball again.
Windish again.
Windish on the carry.
Where he's met by 25.
That's the 4th time tonight that ball's either been on the ground or bobbled in the air, and it just hasn't fallen the Bombers' way. There we go. Okay, so we talked about this coming out of the half. Daniel Taylor just did exactly what we were talking about. He is the backside linebacker. He's actually the strong side linebacker, but from where the point of attack is, he's the backside linebacker, and he scrapes hard down the heel line of the offensive line and is able to make that play at the line of scrimmage, but it's a 2-yard gain. At any rate, he makes a football play there. That is exactly what we were looking for. Now this time they're going to stretch it out. We need to spill and fill. He gets outside.
Windish around the left side, across the 45.
That's Windish, another first down.
And a Trojans first down.
And when I go back to that play by Daniel Taylor, I feel like Taylor's name isn't a name that we've called a whole lot here on the Bombers season, but he's made a couple of huge plays for Macomb, a lot of big tackles. A name we haven't called much on the defensive end, Mr. Drake May, but Taylor really stepping up here tonight.
Yeah, Daniel Taylor had a couple of huge plays at an early game. It might have been week 2 maybe, but it was a home game.
Matthew Glenn pushes across the 40 down to the 38-yard line for a gain of 4 yards. 2nd and 6 for the Trojans.
Second and about 7. This will be a handoff to Windish. He's going to be brought down.
Windish
I believe that's May on the tackle. He's going to be close to a first down. I don't think he quite got there. Come about a yard short.
Tackle made again by number 23, Drake May. 3rd down and 2 for the Trojans.
10 minutes and 15 seconds. They're going to flip it over for Windish once again. hurdles over a man that was down. He's going to have it up on the 30.
For a gain of 3 yards.
So
And the
again,
Trojans first down.
that play originates about 3 or 4 yards in the backfield, but they have such confidence in their line that they're going to create a hole somewhere, that Bo Windish just shows patience, just waits, and then he just, like you said, hops over somebody to get to the line to gain.
Lane Johnson, the
Another
ball carrier.
maybe about
So
5 yard
down
run
to
there.
25. 2nd and 5 there for Elmwood-Brimfield.
See there, Drake may have to come off the field. Helmet came off on that last play. 2nd and 5 play.
Back to the middle.
And it's going to be another strong push by the offensive line up to the 20.
And a Trojans first down.
Trojans first down.
So those plays, the running backs are actually the wings. They're not in the backfield. And what's happening is they're bubbling out, allowing the line to make their push forward and create the hole. And it's very slow developing. There it is again, coming from the wing. And they're just coming right into the middle of the field.
Again, down near the 15
They're just trusting their line to make the hole.
Gain of about 4, 2nd and 6 for the Trojans.
Second down play once again. As they split out for Windish. And he's going to have the first down.
Approach
and,
3.
And more. Bo Windish into the end zone for the Elmwood Trojans.
15-yard touchdown.
Just a long,
run
methodical
for number
touchdown
7, Bo
drive
Windish.
for Elmwood-Brimfield, and that'll put the Trojans up 25 to 22, pending the extra point.
Which makes this extra point massive, because we haven't seen it really come into play, but it leaves the option of a Hayden Katz field goal to tie this game if need be.
Absolutely. Trojans will come out onto the field. We'll see if they elect to go for 2 here, maybe.
Looks like they're lining up for 2.
And they had an extra point kicked blocked earlier on, and then came up short on a 2-point conversion on their 3rd touchdown of the game. And they will go for it here, rushing quickly to the line. Ramirez will flip it outside for Glenn. Going to take a big tackle there by Drew Watson. Or excuse me, that's Jack Beal. Jack Beal out there able to pull Glenn up short. And as you mentioned, that could be huge.
And once again, I'm not saying I didn't see it originate. I don't know it's one side or the other, but 7 yards behind the play, there's post-play activity that's going on, and both kids got up angry, and there was officials standing right there, and they, like I said, it's just information. We know that there will not be many flags thrown tonight.
So the Bombers will take over after the kickoff. 8 minutes and 37 seconds. The touchdown and failed extra point conversion attempt. Come here again. Once again, we are in the 4th quarter. Give a quick shout out to Palm Plus. Is proud to have served the Macomb area and surrounding area for over 20 years, providing cash for most items value. Palm Plus is the area's largest seller of used items, including firearms. They also provide on-site jewelry repairs. They're open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday. They're located at 324 West Jackson Street in Macomb.
35 Bo Gruno prepares to kick for the Trojans. Number 2 Kylan McMillan back deep for Macomb.
I got to tell you, there may be nobody, and I mean nobody, that's more invested and more emotional into this football game right now than a very good friend of mine and Coach Tanner Horrell's younger brother, Murphy Horrell, who was unable to make it tonight, but he's at home in his living room, and I tell you what, I think I've gotten I haven't counted, but it's between 80 and 100 texts, and he's right here with me. And Murphy's almost on the call. Some of what Murphy said has made it onto the air. So Murphy is fired up, and I'm able to text with him some of the things that that are allowing me to keep my job.
Kick roll out of bounds. So the Bombers will start on the 35.
The kickoff out of bounds will spot the ball at the Bomber 35-yard line, and that's where they will begin. First and 10.
So 8 minutes and 37 seconds to play here for Macomb. We know they can work quickly. Don't really need to here. Maybe look to drain as much time off the clock as you can as we approach the end stages of this contest.
Backing off. They're backing off. They're giving a lot of room here. There's a bubble on Drew Watson.
Don't see that deep safety here in this defensive lineup.
No, this looks like cover 0.
Watson, or excuse me, Holthouse will have it on the keeper. He
Holthouse
maybe gained a yard there.
Met by a quartet of Trojan tacklers.
Number 89 and number 5 in on the stop. That's Joey Burkett and Lane Johnson.
Will make it second and 10 for Macomb.
Maybe gain 4 or 5 inches there.
They still have the bubble on Drew Watson.
Holthouse will look to throw, looking deep over the middle. Dangerous ball here.
Oh,
Watson was pushed in the back. That's going to be pass interference. It was good coverage until he pushed Watson in the back there. And that ball maybe a touch overthrown. Watson was trying to come back to it.
Penalties pass interference against the Trojans.
So the play started at the Bombers 35. That'll be a 15-yard all the way up to the 50, right at midfield now for Macomb.
So it's not a big deal. The ball was on the other side of the 35. The ball's now on this side of the 50. It's just interesting.
Holthouse throw
over
on
him,
the
over
run.
him, over him. Oh my goodness.
Had Hogue deep downfield.
Falls incomplete. It'll be second and 10.
Trojans catch a break there. Hogue was wide open. Would took a heck of a throw, and Holthouse is flushed out of the pocket there. Had to throw on the run.
Yeah, Nolan Hogue had run a post through from the backside of the formation, was able to get behind. Oh, he's over. He's over. Far side defensive end jumps across the line. The Tanner Horrell freeze call, one of his top 3 calls in his playbook, picks up another 5 yards.
Move the ball forward 5 yards to the Trojan 45, making it second and 5.
Second and 5 now for Macomb. Holthouse was Conley in the backfield with him. Takes a quick snap. He's going to have Beal.
Oh, great concentration. Sideline. Great concentration. That's a dangerous throw. Outside linebacker stays home, and that ball goes right in between his hands as he jumps up to try and either knock it down or pick it off, which is straight into the line of sight of Jack Beal. Jack Beal stays with the football, pulls in the catch. I also just have to say real quick, another group of people very emotionally invested would be my dear friend Chief Hamer, my wife Leslie, and Aunt Tanya are there on the deck watching football tonight, and they also are very valuable Bomber fans. Just beyond.
Deep downfield once again.
Incomplete.
Pass was intended. I believe that's McMillan out there. Came up asking for a flag. Bombers picked up a sports corner first down just moments ago. We got a Trojan up, hobbling up off the field. Can't quite see who that is. Looks like it might just be a cramp. Second and 10 after the incompletion. On the Trojans 40. Bombers looking to answer back after a Trojans touchdown. Holthouse empty backfield. Gonna look for a quick out to McMillan. Pass came up just a bit short. Out off the fingertips of McMillan.
For the Bomber 40-yard line.
Yeah, that was a quick little hitch, but it was a long way and didn't quite drive through the football to get it to Kylan McMillan there, and it's a little bit in front of him.
So 3rd and 10, empty backfield set once again. Loss will look to throw to pick up the first. He's going to have Watson at the sticks.
Full toss this pass intended for number 1, Drew Watson, is incomplete.
A bit overthrown too far out in front of Watson. Couldn't reel that one through. 4th and 10 in plus territory. Looks like they might get set to go for this one. They're going to send Hulett back out there.
I would say there's going to be a freeze call to start. And they got him! Oh my gosh! I'm not sure there's anybody in the stadium that didn't know that was going to be a freeze call.
So now you definitely 4th and 5. Now you definitely got to look to go for it here. Working on your own 30 or on the Trojans 35. That is a huge penalty and a huge 5 yards for the Bombers offense.
We're empty again.
Another hard count at the line. Loss will take the snap this time.
Oh boy!
He's got a wide open in there on the far side. Pass falls incomplete. Might have heard footsteps there. I can't see who that was.
Downs. Trojans will take
Norton.
over.
Yeah, Kyler Norton out there.
35-yard line.
Yeah, that looked like everything went according to design. They're at the sticks and ball was delivered. Looked like maybe the timing was just a touch off, but couldn't haul it in. And now you need that defense because, as we know, Elmwood can chew up a ton of time.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just going to mention that this Elmwood offense extremely run heavy, and they're going to look to take as much time off the clock as they can with a 3-point lead.
Bo Windish with the carry.
Windish on the carry. 40. Looks like he was pushed out of bounds. So the clock will stop up to the 40.
Ball will be spotted at the 43-yard line.
6 minutes and 57 seconds.
2nd and 2 for the Trojans.
Came up just a bit short of the first down on the Windish run. 2nd and 2. Another run initial ball carrier there. Looking for push the pile forward up the middle. That's Layden Klein. And he will have the first down.
First down. Ball spotted on the Trojan 45.
Yeah, it looked like he was stopped short initially, but second effort, he's able to slide across the pile before his knee comes down, before an elbow hits the ground, and able to reach across and pick up that line to gain.
New set of downs for the Trojans.
Matthew Glenn across
once again,
midfield.
Matthew Glenn.
Down to 48 of Macomb.
So, again,
7-yard pickup.
We're looking here in the backfield. There's a two-hand shove to a player. There's two officials looking at it. And I guess I got to stop talking about it because we're not going to call it. So they are letting this be a very physical football game, including after the play.
2nd and 3. It's going to be another handoff. Ran to his own lineman there. Bombers are going to swarm. I think that's Glenn on the carry.
And by the way, to be fair, it's both sides. There are Bombers that have been guilty of this as well.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of extracurriculars going on here tonight.
I'm not making any sort of judgments about, oh, they're only doing it one way as far as those calls are concerned. I'm just letting you, I'm just making an observation that there is a lot of chippiness out on that football field.
And you kind of expect that with two teams that are as physical as these two teams that we see here
Windish
tonight.
Again with the football. He's over the line to gain.
Bo Windish up near the 40-yard line. 5-yard gain and a Trojans first down.
Got Emmett Hall in the chat saying, let's go defense.
Ball spotted right on the Macomb 40. 1st and 10 Trojans.
Trojans up into Bombers territory now after that carry by Windish. And again, Windish has been huge tonight for Elmwood-Brimfield. It's been the main option out of the backfield. And this is going to go for about 4 yards on the carry.
Bo Windish again.
That was Windish once again.
36-yard line. Tackle made by number 16, Atsard Aplogan.
Delap Logan in on the
4-yard
stop.
gain,
Second and six.
For the Trojans.
After the 4-yard gain. By Windish. Alex Brown will check back in for Macomb. Took a play off there. Another run up for Windish, who have the first down. He's going to, excuse me, that's
forward across the 30
is that Johnson? It is. He'll fall forward
Trojans
just past the sticks. Took about 2 extra yards there after getting the first down.
So we've got the interior of the Bombers line are basically diving, trying to stop the progress of the Elmwood-Brimfield line and try to create a pile there. And it doesn't appear that we're creating a pile and those lanes are still opening.
Trojans have already taken
Got to get a stop here. Here's Windish. That's a cutback for about 10 yards.
Bo Windish
9
inside
yards.
the 20,
No,
down
about
to
10
the
yards.
18. 12-yard gain and a Trojans first down.
Another Bomber down here on the field, a little slow to get up. 3 minutes and 50 seconds. This clock will stop. Can't see a number on that. We'll take a quick break, however. You're listening to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
I chose physical therapy because I knew I wanted to be in the healthcare field. I wanted to be able to help patients in some way related to more in depth. We get to know our patients, and that's really what kind of sets us apart.
I would have to say that is the most rewarding part of what I do, making a difference in people's lives, taking care of the women from puberty on through postmenopausal stages and seeing them go through the phases and stages of life.
It was the community that really drew me back to Macomb. I'm from a small community, and I'm from a farm family, and ultimately I always wanted to practice in a place like that, and I felt that I had the ability to connect to people who with a similar background from me, and the fact that the staff members at the hospital and the support, all the support staff at the hospital was also focused with the goal of patient care. It felt like it just all came hammered at home for me.
Home is more than a place. It's full of the people and moments that matter most. Providing for loved ones, expanding your horizons, or simply living the life you love. With all you have to protect, choose insurance you can count on so you can experience more of what you live for. Country Financial. Experience more.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today, and make your voice heard.
MDH Sport Medicine and Rehab is just not for the athlete. We see a variety of ages, getting them from having pain to no pain to get back to their normal activities and their prior level of function.
I grew up in a small town in Missouri, and I like the feel of community. I like knowing the people that I take care of and knowing the people around me, providing care for someone that you know is in this community and helping them to get better.
Back here on TSSR Game Time Live after the injury timeout. The injured Bomber was Mr. Alex Brown, who's played huge up front for the Bombers all night. He's helped off the field there. He'll take a seat on the bench.
Trojans.
First and 10 for Elmwood-Brimfield after the long break. It's going to be another run play.
Bo Windish, the carry around the left side. He's down inside the 10.
Inside the 10, maybe push out around the 7. Another carry for Windish.
Down to about the 7-yard line. And another Trojans first down. First and goal for Elmwood-Brimfield from the Bombers' 7-yard line.
First and goal, 3 minutes and 34 seconds. Sorry, we had the clock running that whole time. We'll get that fixed here. Elmwood-Brimfield quickly up to the line. Once again, it's going to be a quick flip out for Lane Johnson, who will punch it in for another Trojans touchdown. We got flags down after the play. A lot of extracurriculars there. We'll see what they end up calling it. A personal foul on Elmwood.
Penalties against the Trojans.
Yeah, and that's been coming all night. That has been something that has been developing all night long. And, you know, it's unfortunate. And you don't know. Second guy always gets caught. So who knows? There could have been something that invoked that reaction. But that reaction was going to come from somebody all night long.
Yeah, again, really, really physical and chippy contest being played here tonight on both ends of the football. Again, not what you like to see there. Penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. But Macomb will be down by 2 scores. Three minutes and 30 seconds. Elmwood on to kick the extra point. It'll be Grunow, whose extra point is good.
No good.
Or no good, they say.
With 3:30 remaining.
Oh, that looked like it was.
It looked like it was right through the middle, didn't it?
We're at an angle here.
So no good on the extra point. 31-22, the score will remain. We'll take a quick break and be back with you right after this. You'll listen to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH for Oliver's Heating and Cooling's presentation of Bombers football.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today, and make your voice heard.
Back here at Elmwood-Brimfield High School.
So that penalty right there that we just saw, that personal foul after the touchdown play, is a pretty darn big penalty, because what happens is it pushes the kickoff unit 15 yards back. Bombers should get this football in pretty decent field position, which is big because there's 3.5 minutes left. We've talked about Macomb having quick scoring ability. They're going to need that here. You're obviously going to see an onside kick if they're able to score. And if you don't recover that, Macomb still has 3 timeouts, but they're going to have a defensive stop.
Yeah, those have been hard to come by here tonight. So Elmwood-Brimfield will kick this away from about the 25. As you mentioned, McMillan all the way up on the 15 to field this one. Might be a little bit far back there. It's going to be a high kick, pretty solid kick there. Fielded right around the 28 by Kyler Norton, who will get it and just run it out of bounds right around the 35.
Number 10, Kyler Norton.
Runs about 5 seconds off the clock there. And Macomb will have to work rather quickly.
First and 10.
Again, they do have all their timeouts.
Now that's by design right there. That he's not looking to kick the ball out of the stadium. He got that ball up in the lights, up high, and what that does is allows his coverage team to get down there and limit the return back. And he did get some good distance on it as well.
A timeout will be taken on the field by the Trojans.
Trojans will call their second to last timeout. We will stay here for this one. For all your local news, subscribe to the Community News Brief Weekly Edition, mailed directly to your home every Friday. As an option, you can also receive Monday and Wednesday editions by email. All of this for only $42 per year or $38 per year if you're 65 or older. Single copies can be purchased at select locations in Bushnell, Colchester, and Blandonsville. At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in because purple stands out. At WIU, there's limitless potential. With campuses in Macomb, Quad Cities, and online, visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out. Leathernecks will play a big football game at home tomorrow night. It's their homecoming game. Leathernecks riding a 2-game win streak here this season. You see there on the clock, 3 minutes, 25 seconds. Macomb has it on their own 34.
Macomb has a new offensive lineman in the football game, and Peyton Wing stepping in for Alex Brown.
Whole house look to scramble towards the far sideline. He's going to be pushed out of bounds. Picked up maybe about a yard or two.
At the 36-yard line for a gain of 2.
We'll give him about 2 there on the carry for Whole House. 5 seconds come off the clock.
Yeah, they've come out of that cover 0. They've got cover 2, playing the safeties over the top.
Whole House drops back, looking to throw under some pressure, able to break free.
Oh
of
my
that
goodness!
tackle.
Oh my goodness! Oh, wide receiver is dragged to the ground with the ball in the air.
Bring up 3rd down for Macomb from their own 36-yard line.
That's tough. That was Watson, the intended receiver. Yeah, Watson was able to make a couple nice grabs here tonight, just couldn't reel that one in with the coverage.
That is unfortunate.
Third down now for Macomb, 3rd and 8. Holthouse will keep it here, explodes to the nice gap there. Makes a move there. He's going to have the sports corner 1st down and more.
I don't know if that was a play call or a read, because there was an inside blitz. Linebacker showed it. Braden Holdhouse pulled it down and went right behind him and shot through for a 10-yard gain.
House will throw this one. He's got Norton here on the near sideline. He's going to wrestle down out of bounds. Up close to the 40, about a yard short there.
So here's what's interesting.
12-yard pass.
Earlier in the game, we saw somebody come up and touch Drew Watson, but Drew Watson, of his own power, ran forward 2 yards out of bounds. And that play was ran. This one, Kyler Norton, his momentum was stopped 5 yards in bounds. They go out of bounds, and they stop the clock, which works for us. We'll take it.
Forward to the 38-yard line.
Holthouse on the keeper once again out to the sports corner 1st down. About a 4-yard gain there for Holthouse.
Vasquez, 50, Jay Hampton in. 2nd and 7 for Macomb.
Holthouse, another quick pass out for Watson through the hands once again.
Is incomplete. We'll make a 3rd and 7 from the Trojan 38-yard line.
Clock will stop on the incompletion. And it'll bring up 3rd down for Macomb. Two minutes, 23 seconds, as you can see there on the clock. About a minute has come off on this Bombers drive.
I know there's people at home right now that are wondering, hey, what are we doing? Why are we running the football? Why are we throwing in the middle of the field at all? The most important thing is getting that first score. We understand that we need 2 scores. However, it doesn't matter if you don't get the first one. So,
and that'll be 1st and 10 for Macomb.
As a sports corner 1st down, Holthouse to Watson. Again, that was a pretty nice play call there. Holthouse faked the run and then came up throwing. Was able to connect with Watson up past the Trojans 30. Holthouse is looking for a deep ball here. He's flushed out of the pocket. Nice job escaping the tackle here. He's going to throw to the near sideline.
Pass incomplete, intended for number 7, Jack Beal. Second and 10.
Jack Beal, the intended receiver.
Holdhouse gets knocked to the ground. We'll say a beat after the ball was thrown out of bounds.
Yeah, Holdhouse was under heavy pressure there on that play. Second down and 10 now, just over 2 minutes before the final whistle. Holdhouse, quick out for Norton. Norton able to break one tackle there, trying to make his way to the sideline.
To Beal.
They're going to keep it running. They're going to keep it running. Got to go, got to go, got to go.
Ball spotted at the 27-yard line. Gain of 2 yards.
They're bracketing. If anybody's wondering why they haven't taken a shot, they are bracketing Kylan McMillan on the far side. They're bracketing both the X and the Y receivers.
Holdhouse play action, has Watson over the middle on the slant. Pass is caught. Big hit there. After Watson was wrapped up, it'll be a Sports Corner first down.
Tackle made by 21, Johnny Lance. First and 10 for Macomb from the Trojan 15.
Bombers have it now all the way up on the Trojans 15. Clock not working in Macomb's favor. However, minute and 23 seconds. We're going to see a timeout here.
Taken by Elmwood-Brimfield.
So Elmwood calls their final timeout. Bombers still have all 3.
And what they're doing is, if they're unable to recover the onside kick, they want to retain all 3 timeouts so that they get the stop on first down, call the timeout. Stop on second down, call the timeout. Stop on third down, call the timeout. Force Elmwood to punt, give themselves an opportunity to have the football again. But, again, we got to get the ball in the end zone really quickly.
Yeah, Macomb will have about 15 yards to do just that. Again, still down 2 scores. They're taking about 2 minutes off the clock here on this drive. They're knocking on the doors here, but if you can score a touchdown, anything can happen down the stretch. Clock will be reset to about 1 minute and 21 seconds.
And the way that they've been bracketing the X and Y receivers, these inside slots, these slants are open. That's why they keep going to it, and it's a touchdown to Jack Beal. Or is that, yes, Jack Beal. And that's exactly what we just talked about. Now, that was a very creative play design by Tanner Horrell because he didn't take the inside slot on the slant. They did that exchange that they tried to do earlier, and Jack Beal came on the slant underneath the inside slot, which opens it up, takes a linebacker off, wide open, and walks it into the end zone. So there's 1:17 left on the clock.
And the biggest thing about that drive is the Bombers hang on to all 3 of their timeouts as well. And Trojans have 0. Again, the Bombers will have to get the ball back here at some point, whether it's an onside kick, turnover, or again, worth those 3 timeouts. Might be able to force a turnover on downs. Cats is an extra point. They're going to run.
Fire. That was not a fake.
They brought down hard there. 2 points will come up short, so it'll remain a 3-point lead for the Trojans.
That was a, which ultimately shouldn't matter. I don't think you'd get the ball back and be in position to kick a field. Well, I guess you could. But a field goal still ties the game, just doesn't win it. But that was a high snap, and they had to run the fire, which is where you call off the kicker and you try and peel out and see if you can't make something happen. But a lot of orange jerseys in the backfield.
So the Bombers will get set to kick this one away. Again, you expect an onside kick here. Just 1 minute and 17 seconds to play. Bombers trailing by 3. Again, we want to give a big shout out to everybody tuning us in and watching us here tonight. We've had that live chat. Has been pretty active on both sides. Had some Elmwood fans in there. Had some Macomb fans in there as well. We'd love to hear from everybody. As we roll towards the conclusion of the game, we've been live for just over 2 hours and 19 minutes in this contest. I was hoping maybe we'd catch a glimpse of the Northern Lights up here tonight. Haven't seen anything quite yet. So you see the Trojans creeping up here to recover what they expect to be an onside kick. We've seen the Bombers able to get on a couple of these this season. Gonna need a big one here. Katz's kick will be rolled and fielded by Thornton.
Kick recovered by number 11, Oliver Thornton.
Good hands there by Thornton. Ball took a bit of an awkward bounce, was able to keep it in, tucked it to the chest. So now the Bombers, if they want a chance to win this one, are going to have to come away with a takeaway or a stop here. Again, all 3 timeouts for Macomb, able to stop the clock.
But they got to be able to do something that they haven't consistently done. They've done in spots, but they've got to meet that forward motion of that Brimfield offensive line, and they've got to make stops. Right here through the middle.
It's being hand off to Glenn.
Matthew Glenn across the 45.
We brought up short. We got a Trojan coming up here with no helmet. Not sure what happened there. Macomb will take the timeout.
Taken on the field by Macomb.
Lot of extracurriculars there. He had a Trojan pop up with his helmet off. He starts.
Ooh, he threw his helmet.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what happened there. And then he went to go run off the sideline, and a couple more Trojans were. I think they were trying to hold him back.
His teammates did. Yeah, his teammates did a really nice job. He throws his helmet and starts yelling, and his teammates did a great job of corralling him and getting out of there. But
yeah, that would be a huge unsportsmanlike penalty for sure. So to run to Glenn on the previous play, that went for about 4. 2nd and 6 now for Macomb.
Now I'm certain that there is some frustration in the Bombers. They don't believe they should be down right now. There's been chippiness back and forth. I'm sure there's some guys that are running high on their emotions. They cannot have a penalty.
2nd and 5 for the Trojans.
Yeah, absolutely got to limit that here on this drive. It's going to be another quick handoff up the middle. The break free of 1 tackle. Trying to push the pile forward is Windish. Almost the ball ripped out there.
40 to the Macomb 39-yard line.
Ball hit the ground very briefly. Windish was able to just fall right back on top of it. Did a great job carrying the pile forward.
Timeout was taken by Macomb.
Bombers take a timeout. Third down and about 2 after the Bombers timeout again to stop the clock. Just over a minute to play here. Another situation where Macomb will need a TFL of sorts here, and then hopefully able to bring the Trojans up short on 4th down. I assume they would go for it. Maybe not. And again, it's really just the death by 1,000 cuts. Not really many chunk plays out of the Trojans offense, but when you can pick up 4, 5, 6 yards on every carry, you don't need those long plays. Quick stop. They're going to pitch it out for Windish. He's temporarily tripped up in the backfield, able to keep his balance. Windish to the far sideline, looking for more room to run. He'll just run it out of bounds.
Down inside the 20-yard line.
After picking up the first down, man, Bombers almost had Windish down there in the backfield, but great balance and great vision there by Windish, able to push it out for the Trojans' first down.
And that'll put them in victory formation with only 1 timeout left.
Spotted at the Bomber 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
Trojans will do just that. Ramirez up under center as he will take the knee.
Ramirez takes the knee.
And the clock will start to run. We'll have to kneel this one away one more time, but that will just about do it here at Elmwood-Brimfield. Bombers fall by 3, 31-28.
Yeah, that's exactly something we talked about at the onset of this game is
to the end of tonight's game.
You can't look at results and
Elmwood High School.
expect a result.
Macomb 28.
Farmington versus Elmwood is an entirely different matchup than Macomb versus Elmwood. Macomb had difficulties answering that downhill run game. Elmwood, I'd be interested to see time of possession. I think that Elmwood possessed the football for a long stretch of the football game, and obviously Macomb unable to punch it in, down from about the 4 or 5 at one point. Looms large here as they lose by 3, but at the same time they did have an excellent stand, forced a turnover on downs at the other end of the football field. So good football game, back and forth, a lot of interesting things go on in the football game, but none of those are an excuse. You got to make football plays.
Yeah.
And tonight, the Macomb Bombers just didn't make quite enough of them.
No, absolutely. And you see those things in every game you play on both sides, no matter where you go. It'll be a matchup next week as Macomb will look to take on Bureau Valley. Valley was in action against Illini West tonight. Dwayne Hulett down covering that for Illini West senior night. Last I checked the score there, Illini West was pitching a shutout 22-0. That was right around halftime break. So that'll be the matchup next week for Macomb. Hope to catch Coach Horrell on his way up here. Mr. Shelby Burgett said at lunch today he was going to let Coach Horrell come up and talk to us first before he steals him away. So we'll see how quickly he makes his way up here. Again, the Bombers fall by 3 here tonight in Elmwood against the Trojans, who improved to the season to 6-1. Bombers fall to 5-2.
And one thing you got to guard against is you've now lost 2 football games in a row. You've obviously that's going to have an effect on the football team. You got to keep them up. I mean, those may be the 2 best football teams on your regular season schedule. So you got to be able to bounce back from this, get back on a roll, get a couple of wins to close out this season, and be ready to go as you enter the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we mentioned Macomb will be in action against Bureau Valley next week. They will play Havana in the final week to wrap up the season. Again, and as Tony mentioned there, these are Farmington last week and then Elmwood-Brimfield this week are 2 of the toughest teams that Macomb is going to see on their schedule this season. And again, they played Farmington extremely close, and we know how good of a football team that is. And they play another close one here tonight against Elmwood-Brimfield. Again, nothing to really hang your head about here. You lost to 2 really, really competitive football teams sort of down the stretch in your season. But we will take a quick break here as Coach Horrell talks things over with his group. Again, we hope to catch a word with him after the game. You're listening to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there is limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Well, I've always had an interest in the medical field, and then growing up, I actually went through physical therapy myself for an injury, and that got me back to playing my sports and the activities that I loved. So seeing that firsthand, I got to see how much physical therapy could really benefit others.
MDH Sport Medicine Rehab is just not for the athlete. We see a variety of ages, getting them from having pain to no pain to get back to their normal activities and their prior level of function.
My experience with McDonough District Hospital was amazing. I have a lot of allergies, complicated by nasal problems. And the procedure I had is Vive Air. Dr. Sparks was incredible.
The Vive Air procedure is a radiofrequency ablation procedure. She no longer has to do any medications to breathe, so she gets much more restful night's sleep. and a short little office procedure and have somebody that feels like it's totally changed their life means the world.
It's a permanent improvement on the quality of your life.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today, and make your voice heard.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Back here on TSSR Game Time Live, we got Coach Horo of the Macomb Bombers making his way up here as courts seem to be kind of coming out of connection there. Hopefully that will work over there on that sideline.
I'm sure that shocks you. We're on. We are here with Coach Tanner Horrell, fine coach of the Macomb Bombers. Tough loss again, a couple weeks in a row. That's something you're gonna have to guard against through the week with the guys and make sure that they stay into it. But a lot of eventful things tonight. A couple moments you'd like to have back, of course. That's always the way it is. But some really interesting things that went on the football field. But I do want to point out one thing I saw at the Malachi Conley touchdown on the screen.
Yep.
What a great play call. You had the yo-yo motion to this side. You get the linebacker's eyes and feet moving, go back on the screen, and then he just makes – it was a great run. Great run after the catch. He also had another great night of picking up blitzes. I mean, it was just a really strong game by Malachi. What did you see tonight, Coach?
We had moments where we looked pretty good, and we had moments where we didn't look very good. We looked flat a little bit. We didn't look very tough. Then we had other moments where it looked like we kind of do what we wanted. So we need to play a four-quarter football game. I don't think we've played that yet. If we want to get in the playoffs these next 2 weeks and do something, we're going to have to get a lot better.
So what are the things that you take away out of a game like this? What are the elements that you're like, okay, we need to strengthen these up, or these are fine, we just need to enhance these? What are you taking out of that? I know you need to watch film, but
yeah, I mean, right off the bat, at the beginning of the game, we didn't block our run game very well, and that's something we got to do right from the beginning of the game. But we got exactly what we expected, and we put a little too much in this week. With our skill guys, and maybe got a little too creative at times, and maybe we should have just stuck with the basics, because the basics were going to work. But I thought our guys battled. They didn't give up. Even that last drive, a shoestring away from making a tackle and getting us on fourth down. So I thought our guys battled back after halftime, even after we didn't score coming out of halftime.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned that your designs coming into the football game. It looked like that there were a couple of plays where the timing was just a little off. It wasn't this guy's throw or that guy's catch. It was just timing. And do you think that that's something that may have played into that?
Yeah, it was just off. When you threw the ball a lot tonight, you're going to have incompletions.
Sure.
Maybe we just rushed it a little bit. We got to settle in. There at the fourth quarter, not the fourth quarter. Once we scored and took the lead, we got something a little different. They had no safety, so we had to take our shots, and we just didn't connect.
Sure, and you did. I thought you made a fantastic. You mentioned when they went zero, but they also then would spread their safeties way out, bracket the X and the Y, and you were like, okay, well, we're just going to throw slants over and over and over and over again. And then when they see that, then you take away the slant from the inside and you loop Beal underneath, and that was just a really nice play call. But a great adjustment there. So moving forward, going on to Bureau Valley, still trying to lock in that playoff spot. What's your message to your men?
I mean, it's right there. 5 doesn't guarantee you a playoff spot. I mean, it's highly likely, but we don't want to go in with 5 wins. We want to go in with 7. Bureau Valley is playing a lot better since that Farmington game. They got a big running back. They're kind of spread it out, very multiple like we are. They got a good linebacking core, so we're going to have to be ready to play.
Absolutely. Well, go be with your team, and we will see you again next week.
Thank you.
So, we'll get this wrapped up. I think you can hear me. Yeah, you can hear me. There's no audio coming through the headsets on my end, but we are on. So we'll wrap things up here tonight. You got a nice shot there of Coach Weston there on the camera, and he covers it up. There we go. So for TSSR Game Time Live, I've been John Burton, alongside me, Coach Weston, your usual Bombers crew here tonight. As Honors Brother Heaton and Cooling brought you Bombers football. Bombers fall to 5-2 on the season. We'll look ahead to Bureau Valley next week, and we hope to catch you there.